He looks up, surprise evident on his face as he questions, "Huh?" in response to the unexpected situation around him. He sits up in bed, bewildered, questioning if he is seeing things as a mysterious door floats in the air. He sits up in bed, confused, wondering if the door floating in the air is a magic trick or something real. He turns the doorknob with a click, tension rising as he prepares to step into the unknown. He stumbles backward in shock, having just encountered a dark, swirling portal that seems to twist reality as he exclaims in surprise, "Whoa!" He falls to the ground in surprise, eyes wide, gasping in disbelief as he tries to comprehend his sudden situation. He crouches at the entrance of a dark corridor, confused and anxious, questioning how there could be another space behind the door. He stands at the doorway, feeling the darkness creep in and wonders about the eerie surroundings, then calls out, hoping someone is there. He jumps in surprise, confused and fearful, as a sudden sound, "Chomp," echoes around him, heightening the tension in the eerie atmosphere. He stands frozen in fear as the monstrous figure lunges forward, its glowing green eyes glaring at him, while the sound of "Chomp" fills the dark, bloody scene. He screams in terror, running from the grotesque creature with glowing green eyes and a massive skull, its horrifying roar echoing around him. He apologizes for the disturbance, wishing everyone a nice day as he hurriedly exits the scene, his bare feet swiftly carrying him away. He panics, realizing the world is perilous as a shadow looms, wondering where the door has disappeared to. He sits up in bed, confused and barefoot, as a voice informs him that he has awakened the ability, World Link, declaring that it has finally found him. He jumps in shock while sitting up in bed, exclaiming in confusion as he asks who is talking, clutching his knees tightly. He looks alarmed and perplexed as he learns he's trapped in another world, hearing a voice explain the urgency of following instructions for his survival. He sits on the bed in his pajama shirt, startled as he hears instructions to check his bag for a creepy-looking statue. Startled, he discovers a creepy statue in his hands, realizing it's the cursed statue of the wicked Ghost King. Meant to curse and steal his soul, yet he survived. Startled, he recalls the memories returning, realizing he is the original owner of the body belonging to a middle schooler named Shen Yi. In panic, he feels the dark tendrils of the statue's curse enveloping him, realizing his soul is being destroyed. In a moment of despair, he recalls dying from overwork on Blue Star as a blue spirit merges with his body. A skeletal figure with a sinister grin declares that when the curse fails to kill, it bestows unimaginable power, built from millions of years of stealing souls. He wears pajamas and looks surprised, realizing the statue is turning to dust as he decides to summon the door again, which now belongs to him. He sits in surprise, realizing that the door can appear because of his World Link ability. He learns that his politeness while entering awarded him the title of Polite Person, a surprising recognition. He discovers his new Polite Person title, which suggests that being polite can slightly improve others' impressions of him, while he contemplates the nature of titles. He feels a surge of anxiety as he realizes his strength is fading. He urgently demands to know the identity of the mysterious figure who claims to need him. He transforms his anxiety into determination, realizing he is in the nightmare realm, which traps the figure, who urges him to grow stronger and liberate them both. He hears the voice fade away, promising to reward him when he becomes stronger, urging him not to let hope die in the nightmare realm. He expresses frustration, realizing he barely crossed into this world and someone intends to kill him. Conflicted, he wonders why he's lost so much and decides to equip a title first. He contemplates confronting the scary skeleton inside, thinking that if he stays close to the door, he can escape easily, yet, he wonders if talking to it might work. He thinks about the importance of communication with the skeleton and wonders if negotiating could help him deal with the unknown enemies after him. He stands before a towering skeleton with glowing green eyes, uncertain and questioning if this eerie figure will help him. He greets the atmosphere with a nervous, "Hello there," introducing himself as Shen Yi, then confidently commands the activation of a polite persona. A menacing skeleton with glowing green eyes and a sinister grin emits a low growl, creating an eerie atmosphere. He sincerely apologizes for interrupting the creature's meal, while the creature responds that the title seems effective and expresses a desire for friendship. He gasps in shock, realizing the creature's terrifying presence as it lunges towards him, sending him into a panic. He pleads, feeling anxious and frustrated, exclaiming he only wanted to have a peaceful conversation, but the situation escalates dangerously. The character is in distress as a terrifying red creature looms over him, and he cries out in pain, expressing his suffering with a loud, "Ouch." He gasped in relief, realizing the close call. Sitting on his bed, he lamented how gray titles were useless, questioning what new title he had received this time. He sighed in frustration, realizing he couldn't earn any more titles today and would have to wait until tomorrow. He thought to himself that if the skeleton continued blocking the door, he couldn't earn better titles tomorrow. The assassin could arrive at any moment, it was now or never. He confidently declares he'll wager everything from his past life as a top-tier salesman, apologizing for the interruption as he enters, asserting he will close the deal. A terrifying skeletal creature bursts through the wall, exuding an eerie presence. Its glowing eyes reflect a sense of menace and danger. As he steps through the door, he realizes it's pointless, while a terrifying skeletal creature looms ominously behind him, ready to strike. He confidently gestures while explaining that he cannot be eaten and can freely travel between their two worlds, stating they can only communicate. He approaches the massive skeletal creature, which has glowing green eyes, as it ominously asks if he is now interested in hearing its proposition. He grins eagerly, calling out to the skeletal figure in the shadows, urging it not to leave despite his nervousness in the eerie atmosphere. He points out the skeletal creature, noting that not only its left arm is damaged, but also its skull, rib, and spine. He holds up his phone displaying a message about calcium tablets, enthusiastically explaining their benefits for bones and promoting a special offer. He suggests that if they become friends, he can assist with buying calcium tablets, noting their importance for bones, while also downplaying other issues. He asks her what she thinks about his proposal, appearing hopeful and eager to hear her response. He gazes in shock with wide blue eyes, a spark of electricity illuminating his face, conveying a mix of surprise and concern in the tense atmosphere. He stands frozen, wide-eyed in shock, as a menacing skeleton with glowing green eyes emerges, surrounded by crackling purple energy, evoking a sense of dread. He looks frustrated, questioning whether his efforts are in vain, as crackling purple energy surrounds him, prompting him to consider an alternative approach. He appears startled, surprised to discover a glowing contract as purple energy swirls around him, reacting with excitement, realizing his unexpected opportunity. He seems shocked, exclaiming that the monster has impressive credentials, and questions why there are ellipses after the name as glowing energy surrounds him. He appears astonished, reflecting on the defeated lord of the underworld, Mclantecutli, questioning why he's just a low-ranking pencil pusher, as glowing energy swirls around him. The skeletal figure emanates dark energy, speaking of a contract for equal exchange. He reveals a history with humanity, expressing hope for regaining strength. He never forms contracts with beings other than gods, explaining that if either side is unhappy, the pact can end. He prepares to sign the binding contract. Shen Yi, the human who defeated the curses of evil spirits, is depicted as the keeper of nightmares in reality, controlling two realms. Shen Yi, with a confident grin, realizes he's quite significant, while a swirling blue aura surrounds him, blending reality with dreams. With a determined expression, Shen Yi acknowledges the completion of the contract, while a swirling blue energy forms around a mysterious figure with glowing green eyes. Xiao Yi, just released from the hospital, receives a reminder to report any discomfort and to take it easy for a few days, avoiding any stress. Xiao Yi, advised to drink the tonic on an empty stomach, receives calcium tablets from a concerned figure, who hopes it will improve her condition. Xiao Yi expresses gratitude to his parents while a supportive figure reassures him that his health and safety are what truly matter, sharing a sense of familial care. As a knock echoes, he and she turn towards the door, curiosity evident on their faces, momentarily pausing in their conversation. Two officers from the East Precinct approach, with one smiling as he introduces their purpose regarding Shen Yi's case. The officer expresses that incidents happen often and are unpredictable, while another officer notes that Shen Yi's recovery is a blessing amidst misfortune. He realizes that the true Shen Yi is not who he thought, expressing disbelief with a firm "no," as the atmosphere grows tense. He laments how he was killed by a monster summoned by a curse, blood splattering around him as chaos unfolds. He questions if everyone is expected to leave their fate to chance the next time chaos strikes, his expression wary and contemplative. A tense moment lingers as a police officer stands resolute, glancing sideways at a fellow officer who appears deep in thought, creating an atmosphere of unease. A serious moment unfolds as one officer, with a robotic arm, asserts he understands Shen Yi's frustration, but insists there's something important to share. An officer with a serious expression stands confidently, explaining that higher-ups have approved a decision regarding the hospital, ensuring no more victims will occur. He looks thoughtful as he learns that the officer has 3 stars on his badge, meaning he's a young sergeant. He expresses worry about being targeted. He appears serious, informing the middle school student that they have not identified anyone with a motive for resentment, emphasizing their simple social circle. He indicated that their current inquiries were concluded, stating they had other responsibilities and would not trouble the middle school student any further. He noted that the curse from the Wicked Ghosts King statue is extremely powerful, leaving even the police and government feeling troubled and frightened. He wondered why anyone would target Shen Yi, a seemingly ordinary middle schooler, with such immense power. The officer with a mechanical arm approaches, asking the sergeant about his unexpected return, while the sergeant expresses surprise at his presence. The officer hands his card to her, who responds with a hesitant thanks, showcasing the tension between them. The officer adjusts his cap, advising her to call him directly if anything seems unusual, displaying a sense of duty and concern. He holds a document tightly, his expression focused as he contemplates. The name, Sergeant Luo Feichuan, stands out prominently. He sits on his bed, doubts swirling in his mind about the police force's effectiveness, wondering about a certain sergeant's capability and questioning the government's authority. He thinks to himself that now that people know he is alive, those pursuing him won't let it go easily. He wonders about the danger their family faces if they are targeted, sharing a moment of concern with her. He extends his hand with intensity, expressing urgent desperation as he proclaims he needs something vital. He raises his hand defiantly towards a door, expressing determination to become stronger quickly. He smiles confidently, showcasing his professional sales smile, as he prepares to engage with a new challenge ahead. He stands in a dim hallway, calling out for Big Skelly, holding something in his hand, with shadows looming ominously around him. In the dark space, he suddenly encounters Big Skelly, declaring he brought the calcium it wanted, while the creature looms ominously above. He stands in shock, pointing a bag at the menacing red creature, confused and uncertain by its presence. He smirks, teasingly holding out a vial, asking if the creature prefers this tonic instead. With a flick of his wrist, he conjures swirling green energy around the scroll, channeling magic into the air. He conjured swirling green energy around a crystal, explaining that another party wanted the tonic in his possession and reminding him of the battlefield acquisition offer. He harnessed a low-tier nightmare crystal, channeling its green energy as it enhanced knowledge and skills, while an inscription highlighted War's role in amplifying combat prowess. He excitedly discovers a crystal that enhances knowledge and skills, exclaiming how cool it sounds, ready to embrace this new opportunity. He stands confidently amidst flying green crystals, channeling their energy as his determination shines through, fully embracing his newfound power. He learns the Moonlit Deerwalk technique, a powerful skill used by elven soldiers, enabling him to evade, dash, and sidestep with newfound agility. He stands confidently, green energy swirling around him as he reflects on trading a single tonic for the powerful Moonlit Deerwalk technique, now feeling prepared to defend himself. A dark figure looms, its skeletal form towering with glowing green eyes. Multiple items float ominously nearby, hinting at sinister intentions. He stood with arms crossed, questioning why there was so much secrecy after they had signed a contract. The atmosphere felt tense and mysterious. He resolved to practice his Moonlit Deerwalk technique, noticing the noise as his parents returned home, prompting him to hurry to his room. He contemplated how to improve his agility, thinking it was just like a video game as he assessed his physical attributes. He gasped in disbelief, pondering how the other could still be alive, his curiosity intensifying with a mix of wonder and confusion. He stared in shock, a figure looming above him, while the figure declared he would find out what he was truly made of. He swung a blade menacingly, aiming to strike his foe, who braced himself in fear as shadows danced ominously around them. He leapt midair, eyes wide in alarm, while a shadow swung dangerously close, creating an intense atmosphere filled with uncertainty. He calmly praised the kid, brandishing a knife, while the kid let out a sigh of relief, realizing how narrowly he had escaped danger. He realized in shock that an assassin had come for him, expressing disbelief that they had already sent someone. Excitedly, he asked the man if he needed assistance, ready to activate his polite demeanor. Frightened, she gasped as the masked man shouted, "You can just die already, you fool." His attack seemed ineffective, prompting her to exclaim, "Whoa." It didn't do a thing. As the crystal granted him knowledge, he realized that higher ranks strengthened effects while frustration bubbled inside him for being at a low title, feeling elusive like a slippery fish. He lunged forward, taunting that it was just some parlor tricks, confident that his opponent's fancy footwork couldn't save them from his bullet. He grimaced in frustration, feeling a rush of panic as he realized his mistake, muttering a harsh, barely audible curse. He exclaimed in shock, startled by the realization that titles could be consumed for status points, questioning why he hadn't been informed sooner. He shouted to increase his agility, noting the successful consumption that earned him a status point, while the ability, Moonlit Deerwalk, became available. He was surprised as green energy swirled around him, enhancing his agility with the skill, Moonlit Deerwalk, now activated. Startled, he aimed his weapon at the door, as a strange green energy crackled around him, filling the air with tension. With intense determination, he lunged forward, brandishing a menacing weapon, insisting that his target wouldn't escape him. He stood in a dark space, gripping a weapon, questioning if he had discovered a hidden passage. He glanced back at the towering figure, who with a menacing grin said, "Later, Mr. Assassin," leaving a sense of foreboding in the dim room. He threw a dagger at the darkness, exclaiming that the target would meet their end now. He faced a gigantic skull with glowing green eyes, ready to confront whatever threat lay within its terrifying depths. He leaned against the wall, breathless, as deep huffs echoed in the room, revealing his exhaustion and the weight of his situation. He thought to himself about how close the danger had been, realizing he needed to find self-defense cards quickly. He felt a surge of energy as the sacrifice of a living creature was acknowledged, leading to an offer of items in exchange, solidifying the contract. He was startled to discover both a pale shadow crown and a silver war medal, both marked as green quality, appearing simultaneously. A shimmering pale shadow crown, marked as excellent green equipment, hovers above a glowing scroll that reveals its magical properties, crafted by the undead for elven disguise. A shimmering silver war medal symbolizes honor within the Nightmare Realm's elven forces, awarded only to those who accomplish great deeds, promising teleportation to elven territory. He laughs, calling the skeleton a pragmatist, noting its initial desire to eat him has turned into a bargain filled with rewards, and he decides to try the pale shadow crown. He stands with a focused expression, green energy swirling around him, as he harnesses ancient magic, revealing his elegant features and flowing hair. He exclaims in disbelief that he's an elf, excitedly planning to loot the elf territory after acquiring another title tomorrow. He anxiously hears a knock and wonders if it's an assassin, while asking who's at the door and if Shen Yi is home. He calls out in relief upon hearing a familiar voice, thankful that Chen Haoyu is safe. He believes Chen Haoyu, Shen Yi's best friend, went to the hospital to visit him, feeling an urgent need to shift back first. In a tense moment, one character, filled with regret and tears, apologizes sincerely, while another clings tightly, expressing relief and anxiety. In a moment of reassurance, he comforts her, saying it's not her fault, while she expresses surprise at his presence, asking if he's there to see Xiao Yi. In the dimly lit hallway, she returns and asks her mother about her father's whereabouts, revealing he is with Grandpa to get more super tonics, while confirming she took the tonic. Surprised, he exclaims about the super tonic's rarity, noting even wealthy people struggle to obtain it, while she laughs, admitting it took a lot of effort to get. He emphasizes how much her parents care for her, urging her to improve before the important high school exams. In a moment of realization, he recalls that the original owner of this body is a middle schooler facing crucial high school exams. Shen Yi reflects on missing the first exam due to a curse, while a supportive classmate encourages him not to worry, reminding him about his skills in the agility test. Shen Yi contemplates the uniqueness of his world's exams, realizing they assess not only academics but also physical strength and agility, as he reflects on the ability requirement. He feels hunted as he runs through the dark, reflecting that going to school makes him feel like he's painting a target on his back. A woman with wavy brown hair gazes at a man, her expression mixed with concern and surprise, as he turns away. With frustration, he thinks about giving up on the exams while she watches him, her expression filled with empathy and concern as her hand reaches out toward him. He embraced her tightly, finding comfort in her presence as she softly held him, their bond deepening amidst the gentle flutter of petals around them. He gently reassured her, saying it was okay if she didn't want to take the exams, his warm expression showing understanding and support. He expressed his concern, emphasizing they only wanted her to be safe and sound, his intense gaze reflecting deep care. He reassured his mother not to worry, playfully asserting that she underestimated his strength. She gazed intently, a mix of concern and determination expressed on her face as she faced an unseen challenge. As he smiled, he mused that if he mentioned giving up on exams, his mom would agree quickly. His friend chimed in that he would go to school for the review sessions. As he gazed at the city, memories flooded Shen Yi's mind, reflecting on his grandfather and the significance of his family. As they walked hand in hand, Shen Yi reflected on his parents' strained relationship with his grandfather, knowing their life was fine but not extravagant. As they looked at the expensive super tonic, he remarked that there was no way they could afford it, while she maintained a hopeful smile. As the box sparkled with light, he thought about how much people must have pleaded with his grandfather to obtain the precious item inside. He called out, addressing his mother, reminding her that their son, Shen Yi, had already passed away. He expressed his determination not to waste their efforts, asking them to please prepare a late-night snack. The next day dawns with a clear sky over the modern school building, suggesting a fresh start for the characters. As he looks at the books titled Body Mechanics, Introduction to Psychic Energy, and Strength Training, he reflects that the curriculum of this world is truly something special. As he holds the book titled Body Mechanics, he feels relief that so many students are present, believing no assassin would dare strike at school. As Shen Yi sits at the desk, his friend tells him that Zhao Yibing is looking for him in the hallway, leaving Shen surprised. Zhao Yibing recalls how Shen Yi used to complain about studying, while she walks down the hallway, a bit nervous, as he approaches her. Walking with determination, Zhao Yibing thinks about how she performed well on the first exam and feels optimistic about getting into the provincial elite high school. With a bright smile, he congratulates her, while she stands quietly, her expression revealing mixed feelings about the compliment. With a serious expression, she tells him she only wanted to say he shouldn't come looking for her anymore. With a curious expression, He hears two classmates whispering about the school beauty dumping Shen Yi, intrigued by the juicy gossip. With a serious look, she explains to Shen Yi that they will part ways soon, as they come from different worlds, but they can remain friends. With a frustrated expression, she tells Shen Yi that she has deleted his contact info, hoping he lives well from now on. With a serious look, he recalls how Zhao Yibing always sought him out, stating he never initiated contact, and hopes for peace amid upcoming exams. She looks concerned as he points out that Zhao Yibing, who always paid attention to Shen Yi, is now ignoring him, questioning the surprising change. She angrily confronts Shen Yi, accusing him of being a disappointment despite Zhao Yibing's many gifts, while a crowd watches curiously. She gazes sorrowfully, tears streaming down her face, expressing her hurt as she recalls their friendship with Shen Yi. Zhao Yibing stands confidently, highlighting the difference between accepting gifts and true acceptance as he argues about the struggle of inequality, while shadows loom behind him. In a tense moment, he declares that if she truly cared, she wouldn't use gifts to manipulate him, asserting his right to choose someone better. He warns her not to even consider their relationship as just friends, his expression serious and determined, dressed simply with a scarf draped over his shoulders. She angrily accuses Shen Yi of being a jerk, while her friend watches, startled and concerned, fists clenched in frustration. She furiously berates Shen Yi, accusing him of being terrible and embarrassing his classmate, while others watch, concerned and frustrated. She insists it's not true, expressing frustration about being dumped while feeling her reputation is completely ruined with everyone watching closely. He firmly demanded her to stop, his expression serious and intense as he stood tall and imposing before her. He glared fiercely, insisting that Bingbing had not granted her permission to leave, his tension palpable and commanding. He confronted Sun Ming, the number 3 student, insisting class was about to start and demanding he move aside. Shen Yi faces a formidable rival, who boasts about his newfound strength and warns him to apologize to Bingbing to avoid serious consequences. Shen Yi explains to Sun that he wasn't bothering Zhao Yibing, as she had asked him to come, leading to an exasperated response as he reluctantly agrees to apologize. He apologizes, stating, "Sorry, you win," while 2 girls stand confidently before him, one looking stern and the other noticeably angry, surrounded by a crowd. With tears in his eyes, he tells Zhao Yibing to keep bothering him if he wishes, feeling a mix of frustration and sadness. Shen Yi, tearfully distressed, strikes out in frustration while onlookers, shocked and concerned, react to his heartbreak. She frantically explains she didn't mean to force anyone and asks them not to listen to Sun Ming, while panicking about her own confused words. Frustrated and angry, he yells at the other, expressing his disappointment and vowing to teach him a lesson for ruining everything. Frustrated, he watches helplessly as a massive fist rushes toward him, the impending impact threatening to shatter everything he holds dear. As he is kicked, he falls awkwardly to the ground, unable to escape the sudden onslaught, his predicament feeling increasingly dire. As the group looks up in shock, a loud "pow" resonates. One of them realizes they are in imminent danger as chaos unfolds. Amid a swirl of green energy, he confidently moves forward, while 2 others leap into action, sensing the intense atmosphere of urgency and power. Amidst the chaos, he exclaims his shock about the amazing speed, while she gasps, noting Sun Ming's lack of reaction. He stands in a mystical glow, contemplating that he already asked what the moonlit Deerwalk wants. He questions the group about their gathering, while a stern figure commands them to hurry to the field for the upcoming mock exams. A group rushes forward, urgency in their steps, while one guy laments missing a potential epic fight between 2 classmates. A tense moment unfolds as one character warns Shen Yi it's not finished, with others watching closely, adding to the mounting tension of the scene. From above, a bustling schoolyard is filled with students in white uniforms, as some gather on the sidelines while others participate in sports beneath a bright sky. A crowd of students gathers as one young man in a hoodie calls out to another with excitement, capturing the lively atmosphere of the moment. One student, smiling eagerly, mentions the long wait for the test while suggesting they check out a new comic shop behind the school. Chen Haoyu reminded his friend about yesterday's fatigue, as he had dozed off while aiming to collect the new title, and his friend decided to skip due to a stomachache. As she walked down the long, dim corridor, she suddenly noticed a shadowy figure emerge from a nearby door, causing a sense of unease to wash over her. As he approached the corner, his sinister smile widened, revealing a pen glowing with dark energy, hinting at his malicious intent. He moved stealthily down the dim corridor, a dark figure with a menacing presence, clutching a glowing pen that pulsed with sinister energy. He stood in the dark corridor, a menacing figure, silently contemplating something unknown, his expression one of intense focus. He stood in the dimly lit bathroom, feeling anxious as he wondered where the other person had gone, recalling someone saying they saw him enter. He focused intently, green energy swirling around his hand as he prepared to unleash his magic, revealing determination in his expression and elegance in his movements. He walked confidently down the dim corridor, green cloak billowing, addressing someone named Big Skelly, surprised by the absence, while an ominous click echoed. He spotted the assassin's pistol lying on the ground, his heartbeat quickening at the shocking discovery, realizing the danger that lingered. He realized the gun was loaded and felt excited, thinking he finally had a way to defend himself in the elf territory, though he had never used a gun before. He wondered where Big Skelly had gone, then decided that time waits for no one and urged to move forward. He gathered his strength as blue energy surged around him, creating a powerful aura in the dark surroundings. With intense focus, she stared ahead, questioning the presence of a human, her expression a mix of surprise and curiosity. With a mix of confusion and concern, he questioned if she was the mysterious voice, while she prepared to unleash her powers, realizing this was a human token. In a serene forest setting, he lay on the grass surrounded by glowing particles, lost in a moment of quiet reflection. In a tranquil clearing, he sits on the ground, feeling dizzy and questioning whether the teleportation succeeded, wondering if he has entered the elves' territory. He wonders about the dagger the mysterious voice gave him, questioning its purpose as he observes its gleam in the serene forest. He exclaims in surprise, questioning who is present, as he spots a figure hidden in the lush greenery, filled with tension. He looks surprised, questioning if Fern is among them as he spots a companion amidst the group of elves ready for battle. He appears startled, calling out for Fern as he gazes through the vibrant forest, feeling a mix of hope and urgency. He smirks, noting their late arrival, reminding his companions that without them, the mission would have failed and they would have had to turn back. He explains his tardiness, mentioning a complication, and points out that the three individuals are also wearing the pale shadow crown, indicating they are not true elves. He expresses indifference about their situation, revealing their plan to attack that night and asking Fern if she is prepared. He eagerly replies, confident and excited, about his readiness for action, his hands fidgeting as he prepares for the upcoming challenge. The three elves, faces twisted in panic, shout at her not to touch the dangerous object, their expressions filled with urgency and fear. Amidst a tense moment, an elf apologizes repeatedly while the others express exasperation over his disastrous attempt to handle the pale shadow crown, revealing their undead nature. In a forest setting, one elf reassures another about Fern's reliability on a mission, while the other expresses frustration over a dangerous skeleton connection. As they dash through the forest, one elf urges Fern to hurry, expressing frustration over the time lost due to her lateness, while they head towards the elf village. As they sprint through the forest, one elf barely keeps up, surprised by the speed of their companions and shocked by the strength of the undead. As they arrive at the village, one elf mentions needing the chief's permission, while the other reflects on how close they came to danger. He explained the plan for the assassination, assuring her that the three of them would support from outside while she handled the kill. He questioned, surprised at the suggestion to kill the chief, beads of sweat forming on his forehead as he pointed to himself. He asked what's wrong, concern etched on his face, while another elf questioned if he was backing out, the moonlight casting shadows upon them. With a sinister grin, he declared he wouldn't back out, eager for the fight as he gripped his blade, anticipating the taste of blood. With a smirk, he joked about the undead threats, while his companions appeared amused and ready for the adventure ahead. He remarked that assassinating the elf chief in their own stronghold felt like a suicide mission, while another noted their companion had arrived, urging entry to the village. He raised his hand for attention, declaring that their ally, who possessed the Silver War Medallion, was a brave soldier from the front lines, urging them to open the gates. He gestured invitingly, urging his companions to come along and meet the chief, excitement lighting up his features. They walked together beneath the shadows, drawn by the enchanting glow of the distant village nestled among the trees, curiosity evident on their faces. Under the night sky, he watched the joyful children, remembering their innocence as they played near the village, while he felt a burden on his heart. Under the soft glow, two elegant elf women conversed playfully, one pointing while the other smiled, captivating a young man with their charm. A young elf in a green cloak gestured toward a doorway, inviting another elf in, indicating that the chief awaited his arrival. One elf encouraged the other to meet the chief, while the second elf, with a sly smile, remarked about avoiding any escape. Feeling frustrated, he realized he was stuck in an undead elf feud but humorously hoped it would lead to an exciting title. In a dimly lit environment, he stands alone, gazing at a mysterious beam of light streaming through a doorway, hinting at an adventure ahead. He, draped in a dark cloak, studies an ancient book while illuminated by the ethereal blue light streaming through the intricately designed window. He welcomes the soldier returning from the front lines, his long, silver hair framing a serious face as he studies a book. He gazes with wide eyes, confusion evident on his face, adorned with a silver crown, as he processes an unexpected revelation. The elf stares in shock, realizing the vast array of titles displayed, including Grandmaster of Arcane Arts and spirit of the myriad forests, revealing others' identities. The elf, looking surprised, considers the titles polite person floating above, revealing a newfound understanding of how others perceive him. She smirks, reflecting on her naivety, realizing the undead outside are far stronger than her and questioning anyone's courage to confront the elf. The spirit of the manic forest, a polite individual, stands beside the ancient thieving lord, who confidently proclaims, "Perfect." Skeleton Fern, I'll remember this. The noble figure, with pointed ears, graciously thanked the young soldier for his bravery, inviting him to rest in their village. The elf, enveloped in shimmering light, confidently announced his use of teleportation magic, showcasing his powerful abilities and mystical presence. The elf informed the guests about the celebration banquet, inviting them to enjoy the festivities, as they sat at a grand table filled with food. He welcomed the guests, encouraging them to eat and relax, while mentioning they should strike once the target was distracted during the upcoming banquet. He chuckled at the mention of a diversion, but the seriousness settled as he realized it was a suicide mission and he needed to take action. A girl with pointed ears playfully asks a serious man if he would like to dance, while he looks confused, holding a piece of bread. The girl with captivating green eyes smiles sweetly, expressing that it would be an honor to dance with a hero from the front lines. He assures her that while he isn't a great dancer, she responds kindly, offering to lead them both. He clumsily admits to her that he isn't a great dancer, but she sweetly offers to take the lead, and they gracefully dance together amidst the enchanting glow. He nervously thinks about how he's walking into danger while dancing with a beautiful elf, feeling that if not for the risk, he'd be overjoyed. He observes her closely as she asks why he is so quiet, wondering if the battles have wounded his spirit like his brother's. He admits he was lost in thought, apologizing for being a poor dancer. She introduces herself as Lainey, with curious green eyes. He eagerly asks Lainey if he can perform a magic trick as an apology. Lainey's eyes sparkle with excitement as she urges him to hurry and show her. He hands Lainey a bracelet, complimenting her dancing. She warns him that if his magic trick isn't impressive, she'll reclaim it. He assures her there's no problem, standing confidently among the others in the grand hall, who watch attentively. He calls out to everyone, asking for their attention, excited to perform a magic trick they've never seen before, his cape billowing dramatically. He confidently declares a magical transformation, grinning as he excitedly announces his plan to transform into a human, his regal attire sparkling in the light. She eagerly urges him to perform the magic trick, expressing her excitement, while he watches, intrigued and ready for the spectacle. One elf asks what Fern is doing, while another admires Fern's cleverness for disguising as a human to blend in with the elves. He instructed to watch carefully, revealing an intense concentration as he adjusted his crown with a focused gaze, ready to demonstrate something significant. He extended his hand, surrounded by a vibrant green glow, declaring his powerful intention, "For you," as a blade floated nearby. Surrounded by admirers, Lainey stood in a stunning gown, her wide eyes reflecting surprise as two elves praised her beauty, their expressions filled with admiration. In awe, Lainey observed the transformation of a boy into a human, while the elves laughed, expressing their amazement and urging for a return to normal. He pondered about his transformation, stating he could become human after removing the crown, while onlookers curiously observed his every move. He revealed that his three brothers could perform the same trick, while a crowd of onlookers watched in surprise and curiosity. He suggested that if they removed their crowns, they would turn into the undead, his expression revealing excitement and intrigue. With eerie red eyes glowing, a horde of figures loomed, their chilling presence underlined by the haunting question, "Undead?" which sparked fear and curiosity. Three worried elves, wearing green cloaks, respond to the urgent call, "Red Alert," with bewildered expressions, asking what is happening. A blonde elf, concerned, watches as a character steps through a mysterious door, while others shout in confusion about transformations, urging him to change back into an elf. He bids farewell to Miss Lainey while lying in a coffin, his hand raised as others reach out desperately, covered in shadows and chaos. As the crowd gasped in disbelief, one man exclaimed in astonishment about the mysterious magic that made him vanish, while others reached out in confusion. Determined, she urged the group to catch the three undead first, cautioning them to be wary of any tricks the foes might employ. He looked alarmed, suddenly entangled as he dashed forward, struggling against the restraints while remnants of a dark magic swirled around him. He smirked mischievously, cloaked figures twisting in the chaos as he playfully lamented having to end the game sooner than expected. He revealed his cunning, reminding them that they underestimated a human's influence, orchestrating their mission with irony. He, wrapped in thick vines, questioned if there was a misunderstanding, confidently asserting their possession of badges. A towering figure with glowing red eyes emerged, shrouded in green mist, captivating his attention as a mysterious object floated nearby. The character, with long hair and a dark cloak, contemplates the crown's powerful shadow spell while noting the threat of undead spies infiltrating villages. With a sly smile, the character acknowledges a debt, hinting at future challenges to come. With a somber expression, she realizes he won't return, while others nearby share the weight of unspoken worries as they gather near the barrels. Feeling regretful, he reflects on how the door blended in and how risky the situation was, vowing to learn from this experience. Startled, he gasps at the sight of a skeleton lurking in the shadows, realizing the danger he faces in this eerie place. Startled, he confronts the skeleton, yelling about its leisurely feast while he risked his life in the enemy territory, frustration evident on his face. The skeleton, with glowing green eyes, expresses surprise, wondering if he is still alive, while a tense silence hangs in the dark atmosphere. The character, pointing in disbelief, confronts the skeleton, acknowledging its ability to speak human language, while angrily accusing it of malicious intentions. He angrily demands the skeleton explain how it's still alive, refusing to divulge information without compensation, vowing he holds grudges against those who threaten him. He confidently raises his finger, presenting a powerful necromantic spell while emphasizing the importance of equal exchange and sincerity in their agreement. He angrily clenches his fist, rejecting the idea of being bribed with a trinket, feeling thoroughly insulted. He explains that he gave the pale shadow crown because the other is human, emphasizing that elves and humans are allies, and without this, he would have faced death. He acknowledges the other party's transcendence and offers a legacy nightmare crystal, which allows one to merge with their soul for power. He explains that innate abilities allow one to use powers without expending energy. The crystal is the undead race's foundation and highly valuable. He feels targeted despite surviving injuries. He laughs, revealing he gave the crystal to a human, saying they'll never guess. Despite his principles, he forgives an insincere plea this time. As the ominous figure sits on his throne, dark energy blasts surround him, instilling fear in those who dare to approach. As he stands firmly, 3 vibrant spheres of energy swirl around him, each glowing green, blue, and red, demanding his choice. He sits upon a dark throne, a skull adorned with glowing purple eyes and a crown, urging her to select one of the ancient innate abilities for herself. He learns about the Murmurs of the Dark, a powerful ability that requires a corpse to call upon the dead, emphasizing that death is the most profound teacher. He learns about the Sacred Bone Body, an evolvable ability that can transform his body into sacred bones, granting temporary immunity to death for 5 seconds, revealing that those who seek control over life and death will face dire consequences. He learns about the Necromantic Resurrection, an evolvable ability that allows him to resurrect the dead using a soul fire, merging it with a corpse. He contemplates how Necromantic Resurrection isn't helpful at the moment, while pondering the limitations of Sacred Bone Body, after just 5 seconds, feeling a sense of urgency about uncovering the threats against him. He holds a glowing green dagger, filled with energy, declaring that the counterpart is the source of darkness, with determination etched on his face. He swings his glowing green dagger in an intense motion, shards of glass scattering around him, showcasing his fierce determination and focus. He exclaims with excitement that his powers have worked, enabling him to hear the whispers of the dead, while a skeletal figure looms ominously nearby. He asks if something is wrong, and the skeletal figure assures him it's not bad, explaining that while it won't quickly enhance his combat power, nobody has ever chosen it. He questions the skeletal figure, seeking details about an important event, while the figure agrees and prepares to share what transpired. He learns that the original target was supposed to be a female elf priestess, while the skeletal figure reveals that the powerful elf is the highest priest. He reflects on the powerful elf's numerous titles, feeling determined, and thinks about the captured nightmare knights, vowing this is his only chance. He calls out, asking where she is going, as dark figures loom in the shadows, intensifying the eerie atmosphere around him. He expresses indifference, stating the other character can do what he wishes, as he prioritizes his own issues and acknowledges that everyone has their struggles. He receives the title of One of Us, which grants him the ability to momentarily be considered an ally, making others forget past conflicts. He realizes the title can only be used once daily and notes its potential value, excitedly observing the glowing green quality of the title. He excitedly examines the Nature's Blessing bracelet from Laney, noting its excellent green quality, thrilled about its rare capacity to enhance his spirit power. He walks through the hallway, noting the items he possesses, a short sword, a green title, a green bracelet, and a pistol, deciding he must hide them before being seen. The agility test begins as Chen Haoyu prepares for his turn, focused and ready to impress the crowd gathered in the stadium. With a confident leap, Chen Haoyu soars through the air, while a friend shouts encouragement to stay calm. With determination, Chen Haoyu confidently announces he has everything under control, unaware of a purple creature laughing at his misfortune. Chen Haoyu, with 71 points, is warned to be grateful, as Shen Yi prepares for the next challenge while the atmosphere is tense. As the atmosphere crackles with anticipation, Shen Yi confidently steps forward, ready for action, while a fellow participant stands by, preparing for the challenge. Shen Yi evades the unpredictable purple arrows whirling around him, his expression tense as he gracefully navigates the chaotic scene. As Shen Yi swiftly dodges the paintballs, onlookers marvel at his effortless agility, comparing his movements to ice skating. Confidently, he thinks that with his real-world experience, this test is effortless and only requires a little footwork to dodge the water guns. He notes the impressive movement of the top student, who missed the first exam, expressing regret and suggesting giving him another chance. He highlights the top student's exceptional agility, pondering that if the student aces the psychic power test, he might reconsider granting him another chance. He questions Director Qian about the high standard for a perfect score on psychic power, remembering Shen Yi's psychic abilities were rather average. He suggests waiting for the psychic power test results, hoping for a high score, believing that only a perfect score will suffice. He expresses disappointment over Shen Yi's missed first test, wishing for a perfect score in agility. Shen Yi replies with gratitude, showing determination to gain high school entry. During lunch break, Shen enthusiastically suggests grabbing stir-fry while his friend offers to wash up first, promising to be quick before heading back to class. In an empty classroom, he lays his head on the desk, overwhelmed by the subjects, math, physics, and chemistry, which are the same as his previous world. He sits, head down, feeling overwhelmed as he grapples with conflicting memories of this world's subjects, language, literature, and scientific knowledge. He stands ready to fight, as another character angrily asserts, "I told you, Shen Yi." The atmosphere thickens with tension from their confrontation. He, with a determined look, declares that the fight isn't finished, while pointing out that Zhao Yibing sent the others. With a smug grin, he taunts the opponent, insisting that Zhao Yibing has no interest in dealing with him, as he delivers a dismissive gesture. With a confident tone, he challenges Shen Yi, claiming his strength just reached 2 points, eager to see who truly is the strongest student. With a calm demeanor, he questions the need for conflict, noting their shared goal as the title, one of us, activates, surrounding him with an eerie glow. Surrounded by friends, one character stares in silence, while another expresses tension. The group feels the weight of an unspoken conflict in the atmosphere. In a tense atmosphere, one character expresses regret about past choices while another insists they can't fight their own. They all agree on avoiding conflict. With fierce determination, one character declares that they will kill Shen Yi, while his friends cheer them on in the tense confrontation. Feeling frustrated, he reflects on his limited ability, realizing he can only use it once daily and considers it pointless. He commands, "Devour," and successfully acquires 3 stat points with his new title. He expresses surprise at the ability to redistribute stat points, confirming he can switch to a strength-based warrior and successfully reallocates all his points to strength. Shen Yi is startled as he is threatened to stop running away and confront Sun Ming like a man, creating a tense atmosphere of confrontation. A fierce-looking character charges at Shen Yi, taunting him about breaking ribs, while Shen Yi looks on with shock and determination. As a fierce attack unfolds, Shen Yi, with wide eyes, prepares himself as someone shouts, "Hyaa." With intense energy surrounding them, Shen Yi recoils in shock, noticing the outstretched hand approaching him, while another figure lurks ominously in the background, heightening the tension. Shen Yi, caught off guard, reacts in surprise as another character boasts about the average adult's low strength and agility stats. In a dynamic moment, one character skillfully flips another to the ground, showcasing impressive combat skills and determination. In a tense moment, characters express disbelief as one states that strength isn't merely about raw muscle, noting how someone easily escaped from a hold and took a punch without flinching. He emphasizes the importance of resilience and strength, asserting that all factors contribute to a person's strength stat, exclaiming disbelief at the comparison to Sun Ming. He expresses frustration over skipping an exam, feeling targeted by his classmates due to jealousy, while one student lies on the floor in distress. Frustrated, he confronts a larger student, expressing that if he were anyone else, the student would have ended up in the hospital, while another pleads for forgiveness. He accuses a rival of humiliating someone, beating him, and even attempting to ruin his future, showing deep concern for the victim's well-being. He charges forward, filled with rage, as he accuses his rival of expecting forgiveness despite the harm done, showcasing the intensity of the confrontation. Amidst chaos, he screams for help, while a figure in the background expresses terror, highlighting the panic around them as they react to the unfolding danger. He bursts into the room, confusion written on his face as he demands to know what's happening, surrounded by eerie, expressionless figures. He lays on the floor, blood surrounding him, as he calls out for the teacher, saying he was being bullied. He stands in shock, questioning what the other said, while a group of surprised figures watches, recalling the accusation of beating someone badly. She stands alarmed, realizing she might have made a mistake, as shocked figures around her react with disbelief. She looks shocked and worried, realizing there's no way these opponents could have challenged Shen Yi. She wonders in disbelief how he can be so strong, while feeling a sense of finality, thinking it's all over now. She looks at her phone, concerned, while her friend questions Bingbing about his choices, creating a tense atmosphere in the crowded space. She expresses regret for not encouraging him earlier, wondering if things would have changed if they'd stayed closer in high school. She reflects on the gravity of the situation, noting there's no way to undo the past, as a student is carried away on a stretcher. She gazes intensely, realizing her future is filled with possibilities, while others around her focus on urgent matters in the hectic environment. She feels frustrated for not recognizing the loser he is sooner, while her friend, Bingbing, tries to show her something intriguing. She stares at him, surprised and concerned, as he lies on the stretcher, battered and bruised, while he struggles to comprehend the situation. She glances nervously at Sun Ming, realizing he's staring at her, feeling frustrated and surprised by his foolishness. He angrily expresses disbelief that someone wants to involve him, demanding the other to stop staring at him so rudely. He angrily insists that the other should remain silent, threatening them while clenching his fist, filled with frustration. He shouts in rage for the other to die, while the pleading voice begs for mercy, creating a tense and fearful atmosphere. A girl in a dress stands determined with a knife, confronting a crowd, as paramedics roll a man on a stretcher past, creating a scene filled with tension. As tension fills the room, a girl grips her phone nervously while others stare, observing a male figure lying on a stretcher, surrounded by concerned faces. With tears in her eyes, she sobs quietly, her expression filled with sorrow and concern, revealing the deep emotional weight she's carrying. With tears streaming down her face, she cries out for Sun Ming, declaring she will call the police about Shen Yi's actions. Frustrated, he explains that Zhao Yibing is avoiding him and throwing him under the bus, while his friend expresses concern about more students calling the police. He raises his hand to signal everyone to return to their studies, while Mr. Zhang sternly calls Shen Yi to come with him to the office. He urges Qian to sign a few forms for their top-notch students, while Qian explains he doesn't want to help, as they don't meet the group's minimum standards. The principal's busy when a woman rushes in, revealing that Shen Yi and Sun Ming are involved in a fight, prompting his irritation. A woman insists the principal watch a video Shen Yi recorded, while the principal dismisses it, noting it's just a fight between middle schoolers. The principal and another man stare in shock at a video, their expressions a mix of disbelief and concern as they watch something troubling unfold. Two police officers, one with a curious expression and the other looking concerned, watch something on a phone, their faces reflecting intrigue and seriousness. One officer, surprised, learns that Shen had been recording the incident from the beginning, while Shen admits his fear of being seriously harmed. An officer, with a serious expression, informs that despite the video evidence, Shen must accompany them, as the outcome relies on the injury assessment. An officer passionately explains that a student has already missed an exam due to an anomaly, stressing the urgency of the situation and the existence of video evidence. He assured the teacher that they only required the student for a brief questioning as long as the injuries weren't serious. The other student warned that it could ruin his future. Shen was praised for his quick thinking with the phone recording, while the principal arrived, warning that serious injuries could lead to expulsion. The man in a black coat, with a cigarette, remarks that fighting their opponents is futile, while a young man in a red shirt questions him, addressing him as Mr. Qian. The man in a long black coat acknowledges that he was holding back during the fight, while the young man in a tank top admires his skills. The young man, holding a card for the Human Martial Arts Group, learns about Jian Rushan, the regional director, with an intrigued expression. The young man is shocked to discover the significance of the Human Martial Arts Group, an organization that possesses vast martial arts knowledge and a library of intellectual property. The young man stands before a radiant staircase, realizing that joining the Human Martial Arts Group is a rare opportunity leading to greatness. He contemplates the man before him, feeling that he's utterly impenetrable. No matter what, he couldn't even touch him. Shen, with a cigarette in his mouth, is asked about his exact strength number, while the cybernetic system highlights its ability to assess a person's overall capabilities. He feels relief knowing his protector is incredibly strong, thinking he won't have to worry about assassins anymore, and acknowledges the number 5. He is shocked at the unexpected number 5, while his serious companion looks equally surprised, creating a tense yet humorous moment between them. He looks impressed and remarks how remarkable it is, while the other, curious, questions if a strength stat of 5 is significant. He comments that a strength stat of 4.5 is notable for a middle schooler, but 5 unlocks the ability to operate combat mechs and wield ancient weapons. A tall, confident man in sunglasses offers a retest for strength, emphasizing the group's authority to secure special re-examinations from the Education Bureau. The stylish man assures the group that arrangements will be made, while a cheerful youth expresses eagerness to join, thanking Mr. Qian. A casually confident man, cigarette in hand, inquires about the psychic power stat, noting that the other's impressive strength and agility won't impact the assessment. He confidently claims he can't excel in everything, assuring that 3 points in psychic power will suffice. He smirks confidently, smoke curling from his cigarette, revealing a cool demeanor amidst an electrifying backdrop. His stylish glasses reflect the light, enhancing his mysterious aura. Surprised, he exclaims that he thought the psychic power was average, while a shocked man in a red shirt reacts in disbelief behind the police officer. Shen stands calmly, responding affirmatively as a man in a long coat requests a demonstration of his psychic abilities, suggesting he should be able to move objects with his mind. He thinks about allocating points to his psychic power, realizing he can reach a level of 3 points, while glowing with a blue aura. As the officer turns to leave, he commands the others to pack it up while another officer, looking surprised, questions if they are leaving already. As the officer walks away, he explains that the kid, Shen Yi, has a strength score of 5 and agility of at least 4, questioning the meaning of his psychic power of 3. He confidently states that Shen Yi is destined for greatness, possessing a talent far beyond their capabilities, before suggesting they leave the area. He laughs heartily, declaring he never expected to witness such a day, while standing beside a blue-haired boy, who looks optimistic about their future. Shen is excited, calling it a lucky day for himself and others, while a man steps away to speak privately, sensing the awkwardness. In a dimly lit room, a man in a long coat cautiously holds a gun, while another young man stands nearby, both appearing tense and alert. He took a drag from his cigarette, asking Shen about his goal in life, a serious expression on his face. He nervously addressed Mr. Qian Rushan, stating that his goal was him, while Qian smirked, questioning what his heart truly desired. He expresses his desire to be strong enough to protect himself and his family, feeling the weight of fear lurking nearby. He smirks, wearing sunglasses, and tells her today is the day to start pursuing that dream, confidently inviting her to attack. He points sternly at the man with a cigarette, declaring that one should fight not with words, but with fists, clearly irritated by the creepy, greasy old man. He expresses remorse, saying he will reallocate points to strength, showing determination as he raises his hands in focus. He channels energy into his fist, determination evident in his expression as he prepares for an intense action, showcasing his resolve and strength. He finds himself immobilized, panic flashing in his eyes as he wonders why he can't move. He is captivated by the cool figure in the long coat, who explains a technique to immobilize attackers, provoking a keen desire to learn. He lifts a gun while smirking, telling others to pay attention, hinting that there's more to learn. A young man gasps, eyes wide, as a gun is pointed at him, the tense atmosphere amplified by the sound of a click, signaling danger. A man in sunglasses explains a secret technique of their organization, demonstrating a skill capable of controlling projectiles, emphasizing even sniper fire is futile against it. A man in a dark suit informs a blue-haired character about the Hidden Dragon project, praising her natural talent and inviting her to join their organization. He explains they'll recommend the character to the top 3 high schools globally but warns her she'll need to pass a tough entrance exam designed by those schools. He reflects on how ordinary people rarely get a chance to take the exam, which is controlled by the privileged kids from noble families, asking, noble families? He reflects on how noble families possess ancient knowledge, artifacts, and wealth, and control vast lands, creating a significant divide from the common people. He wonders if Shen Yi's grandfather belongs to one of the noble families with ancient knowledge and vast control. The man, with sunglasses and a cigarette, explains the Hidden Dragon project aims to discover talented individuals among ordinary people, offering entry to elite schools regardless of exam results. The young man, confident in his message, urges Shen to consider the organization's support in securing a bright future while promising substantial rewards. The young man declares that it's a world where strength rules, and with determination, he accepts the invitation. The young man reflects on his noble family past, feeling ordinary now, as he holds hands with a child, contemplating his family's struggles and his own identity. He casually smokes as he instructs that once ready, she should sign the document and provide her fingerprint, reflecting a laid-back yet authoritative demeanor. He expresses that humanity depends on the strong for survival. One character, decisively holding a document, welcomes the other to think it over. One character, gesturing towards a door, assures another that his parents will soon arrive. The other replies urgently, expressing the need to hurry to prevent another organization from getting to them first. A man with long hair and sunglasses confidently reassures that he will return quickly after finishing his task. A person dashes forward with intensity, propelled by determination, as bold characters in the background emphasize their drive. The atmosphere is charged with urgency. A character, wide-eyed and astonished, exclaims about Shen's remarkable ability to vanish suddenly, while another person eagerly inquires about Shen's experience. Excitedly, a character proclaims their school will soon be the city's talk, while another mentions having signed a contract and a person rushes in with enthusiasm. Curious about an unknown caller, he answers the phone, wondering who it could be. As he grips the device, his expression tense. He speaks to student Shen, introducing himself as Luo Feichuan, revealing that he has information about her situation and requesting her to visit the police station. Luo Feichuan, dressed as a police officer, gestures for Shen to sit, while another character, seemingly relaxed, acknowledges him as Sergeant. He felt an inexplicable sensation ever since entering the police station, confusion evident on his face. He stared intently at the tablet, noting the photo taken by accident, linked to recent rumors about the hospital, while questioning if the figure on the rooftop was recognizable. He zoomed in on the photo, feeling uneasy, as he thought to himself that he had never seen the guy before. He focused intensely, as the forensic experts revealed their belief that the unknown man had been attempting to activate something. With a surprised expression, he asked Shen if he had carried anything unusual that day, reflecting his concern over recent events. He thought that the one who activated the Wicked Ghost King's cursed statue must be the guy, but noted that Sergeant Luo hadn't caught him yet, as the statue had turned to dust. He couldn't disclose details about the statue, claiming it was the same as usual, while others succumbed to the curse. He warned that revealing this would only bring trouble. He noted the oddness of the situation, resting his chin on his hand, while asking if there were any feelings of choking, losing control, or blacking out. He felt a mix of suspense and discomfort, realizing Sergeant Luo's questions hinted at knowledge he couldn't shake off. He expressed unease, mentioning that ever since entering the office, he felt an unsettling presence lurking nearby. He anxiously waited for a signal, planning something wild, and suddenly he remembered, realizing his backpack had been opened despite zipping it up before school. He furrowed his brow, asking if she had checked her bag, a hint of worry in his voice. She exclaimed that she hadn't checked her bag, expressing concern while remembering the hand movement Sergeant Lu made, realizing he seemed about to take action. He decided to reallocate all his stat points to agility, determined to be ready to escape at any moment, questioning if he could surpass Sergeant Lu's stats. He raised his feet in urgency, thinking there was no time to lose. He planned to open a door beneath him if things went awry. Startled by a loud ringing, he realized the urgency of the moment as he spoke to the officer, thinking it might be his chance to escape. Startled by the urgency, he held the phone tightly as Sergeant Luo Feichuan ordered him to stay put. With a cold stare, he spoke into the phone, declaring to Luo Feichuan that it was time for him to die. In a swirl of energy, he stared in shock as a police officer confronted him, his scattered papers caught in the vibrant motion. Shocked, he realized an assassin was targeting Sergeant Luo. He cursed as the technique from Director Qian came to mind, noting their proximity to the police station. He ducked swiftly as a flurry of shards erupted around him, feeling the urgency in the dark atmosphere and the haunting presence of an unseen threat. An alert blared as red lights flashed. He stood startled, realizing an intruder had breached the police station, urging everyone to find a safe hiding place. He wondered if he was looking at the ocean while feeling confused about why he wasn't in the city as a vivid sunset illuminated the scene. He pointed dramatically, claiming the man beside the shades wasn't the true culprit. With anger, he accused Luo Feichuan of slaughtering his church members, seeking revenge. He stood amidst the eerie graveyard, stating he was busy but could explain later as two men in uniforms looked on, calling him boss. He appeared visibly distressed, clutching a weapon as he proclaimed that his life was the best explanation they could receive. He looked bewildered, his mouth agape in surprise as he wondered what was happening around him. He looked back in shock, exclaiming that he was back, while worrying about the two who were missing, fearing they were left in the ocean. Feeling uneasy, he questioned the strange sensation, wondering if the office was haunted. He demanded whoever or whatever was present to reveal itself. His necromantic ability, Murmurs of the Dark, activated, compelling souls tied to bodies in the location to return and answer his urgent question about the body in Sergeant Luo's office. He expressed gratitude, addressing Shen Yi, with a mixture of surprise and concern evident in his eyes. He turned abruptly, sweat glistening on his brow, his eyes wide with fear as he called out, "Who's there?" His glowing green eyes added to the intensity. He never expected to return to his old body, answering questions from the decaying shell, while he noted that the familiar voice seemed to come from the cabinet. He gasped in shock, realizing it was impossible. A hunter had been killed by his prey and dressed to resemble him, feeling utterly pathetic. In horror, he stared at the lifeless body of Sergeant Luo, pinned to the wall and drenched in blood, unable to comprehend the chilling scene. With a bloodied face, he whispered, acknowledging the grim reality with a simple, chilling statement, "It is." Wide-eyed with shock, he asked Sergeant Luo what had happened, while a caption mentioned that the guy with the shades in the photo had killed him. He reflected on his life as an assassin and explained how, at a critical moment, his weapon malfunctioned, leading to his death by impersonation. He questioned the hidden figure's motives, while another character admitted uncertainty but asserted that he was searching for answers, acknowledging the situation's clarity. He recalled that the curse of the wicked Ghost King statue had always failed, concluding it was fortunate that a lunatic disrupted the station's plans by attacking. He also mentioned that Captain Luo was taken by a man in colorful pajamas using sorcery. He wondered about the sorcery, questioning what it truly involved, recalling how the area near the station briefly transformed into an ocean before reverting to normal. He smirked, thinking the prey disguised as the hunter was unaware of the larger threat behind him, noting it wasn't sorcery but an anomaly. He wondered about the anomaly, reflecting on the sudden connection between worlds that abducted people, calling these threats calamities. He asked what a calamity was, as the ominous figure emerged from the swirling darkness, representing powerful monsters that could bring widespread devastation. He asked about Jiangnan City, revealing his concern after hearing the news that an unprecedented earthquake had destroyed the entire city. He reflected on the official explanation, realizing that it was merely a textbook case of calamity, while acknowledging the terrifying loss of over 13 million lives in the city. He urgently told his companion that there was no time to waste and to act swiftly, explaining that the earlier anomaly was minor but warned the killer would return soon. He anxiously asked if he was still in danger. He was instructed to head to the armory on the 3rd floor for a code. He looked surprised as he read the lengthy message, nervously holding a pen and preparing to jot down notes. He sat trapped in a cramped space, bloodied and anxious, receiving a grave warning about reporting the truth for protection. He felt a chill, realizing that even a sergeant could fall victim in Shen Yi's case, questioning if exposing the killer would matter in a world where weakness equates to being prey. He worried that there might be accomplices at the station, realizing the killer could easily overpower him, deciding to follow Sergeant Luo's instructions and seek safety on the 3rd floor. He cautiously approached the cabinet, feeling uncertain about avenging Sergeant Luo, doubting his current strength. Determined, he declared he would avenge him, no matter the cost. Shadows cloaked his intense expression as he faced the looming uncertainty. Clenching a fist tightly, he vowed to Sergeant Luo that he would ensure he rests in peace, embodying his resolve amidst the shadows. Feeling startled, he turned toward the door as someone knocked loudly, wondering if it was Shen Yi. The voice called for students to gather downstairs for an urgent screening. Feeling commanding, a police officer called out to Shen Yi to come out, announcing that everyone must immediately head to the cybernetic central system for scanning due to an attack. Commanding the officers, Captain Wang instructed them to go downstairs, stating he would speak with Sergeant Luo and Shen Yi. He reassured the scared individual, saying that as long as Sergeant Luo was the one chosen by the spell, they were safe, reminding them that all the officers would take care of them. He looked troubled, as if contemplating something serious, and questioned whether Shen Yi had moved the body. He dashed into the empty conference room, realizing something was off. Confusion filled his mind as he wondered if the target had escaped. With disdain, one officer scoffed at the others, mocking their failure as another accused him of being useless. Tension pulsed in the dimly lit room. A police officer, signaling for quiet, firmly declared that all units should issue a citywide alert for Shen Yi, suspecting his involvement in the incident. The cybernetic central system announced the completion of its environmental scan, instructing everyone to gather at the plaza outside the hall for inspection. In a dimly lit command room, papers are scattered across the table, and an ominous message suddenly instructs something to appear. As urgency fills the air, peering from behind the door, he questions if anyone has left, realizing the killer definitely had accomplices, a grave look on his face. He contemplates hiding in the nightmare realm until it's safe, but realizes that would mean losing the chance to confront the killers they deserve. He knows he must reach the 3rd floor and report everything, urgency flashing in his eyes as he navigates the rain-soaked environment. Determined, he swiftly navigates the dim hallway, his urgency palpable as he heads toward the elevator, a sense of impending discovery in the air. Determined, he exclaims it's the moment to act, frantically preparing to enter the code on the wall, urgency evident in his posture. Feeling uneasy, he realizes he heard something above, his anxious expression reflecting his concern. Shen Yi, eyes wide with surprise, looks up at the approaching officer, who smirks and questions his unexpected presence. He sighs in frustration while writing down extra math problems assigned by his teacher, realizing he needs to cram for his upcoming final exams. He expresses concern about the emergency activation device that links directly to the world government headquarters, questioning how the individual even possesses that code. He angrily demands to know who provided the code, asserting there's no way he's allowing the situation to escalate further. As a sudden blast erupts from the door, the officer, shocked, questions what the strange power is. He realizes the power is dangerous. Relieved, the door adapts to its surroundings, contemplating that a normal door could have killed him. He huffed in annoyance as the sword strikes the door, leaving a deep mark, reflecting his frustration with the situation. He dodged as a massive blade swung past, narrowly escaping the deadly attack, while the assailant shouted for him to die. He commanded for the shield to vanish, a swirling vortex of red energy forming around it as he initiated the powerful spell. He glared angrily, pointing menacingly as he vowed to take revenge, declaring, "I'll kill you," in a fierce confrontation. He rushed towards the door, urgency evident in his expression, as chaos erupted with sharp shards flying, reflecting the tension of the moment. He struggled to push the stubborn door, frustration clear as he yelled about the defiant little punk, while blood splattered around him. He exclaimed with excitement that it was finally finished, holding a pen triumphantly, sweat glistening on his forehead in the atmospheric scene. He received confirmation of the passcode, scanning the area with urgency, having located the body of Luo Feichuan and aimed to dispatch help for Captain Wang Shumu. He looked alarmed as he learned that District Manager Qian Rushan was mobilized, realizing the situation's gravity warranted immediate termination authorization. He shouted, "It's Manager Qian." As the countdown began, he realized the imposter was about to face execution, while another, defiant, taunted that reinforcements wouldn't stop him. As the countdown hit 26, he grappled with the officer, who angrily questioned if he thought he could escape. As the countdown reached 25, he panicked, exclaiming, "Crap," while a foe menacingly vowed, "Die." Tension filled the air as conflict loomed. In a dramatic moment, he soared downward, sword drawn, aiming for his target on the ground, a burst of chaos erupting around them. He clenched his fist tightly, declaring that there's no unbreakable defense in the martial world, only attacks too swift to counter. Laughing, he proudly asked if he looked cool after the impressive stunt, while Manager Qian mulled over the aftermath of his reckless actions. He confidently stated he could manage everything else, but insisted they needed to be upfront about the passcode, mentioning Sergeant Luo Feichuan had given it to him earlier. He realized that the man understood both the silent church and the hitman pursuing him, revealing that they belonged to an organization behind earlier anomalies. He sighed, expressing regret about Sergeant Luo's death, while the man in the hoodie reflected on Luo's strong sense of justice that might have led to his demise. The man in sunglasses explained to a young boy that the assassin posing as Luo Feichuan would have killed him, but fate had intervened. Kunlun had already traced the assassin's origins to the League of Assassins. The man with a cigarette mentioned that anyone able to kill Sergeant Luo must have serious skills and pay, while expressing concern for the middle schooler's safety. He questioned why Sergeant Luo didn't call for backup against the assassin when the Kunlun situation appeared during his passcode use. He learned that Kunlun is the central AI of the world government and that it assigned the rescue mission. Usually, it doesn't deal with minor issues unless special passcodes are used. He explained that the character was unaware of his weapon being compromised, highlighting the tension in the room. She explained that a virus had compromised Luo Feichuan's steel exosuit, his main weapon, making it inactive. She revealed that after Sergeant Luo died, the virus in Luo Feichuan's exosuit vanished, causing it to function again. It was clear someone orchestrated this, likely a close ally. Kunlun assigned them the mission to uncover the truth. He contemplated the words about the honorable officer, reflecting on Luo's sacrifice and how he promised to uncover the truth even after his death. He reflected on his failure, realizing he died without even drawing his weapon when they approached. A serious figure informs Shen Yi that he is now part of their group and prepares to give him his first lesson, urging him to remember it well. A serious figure, wearing sunglasses, warns Shen Yi to always be cautious of those with bad intentions, claiming they are more frightening than monsters. He vows to remember the warning, his serious expression reflecting determination and a hint of anxiety under the dim light. He holds a matchstick, urging her to follow, stating he's arranged to meet her parents, while she questions the fate of the others caught in the anomaly. He walks alongside her, saying that specialized personnel will manage the lockdown, while she questions why he isn't staying to help with the situation. He recalls a man who emerged from a church anomaly, seemingly fine but with unusual skin, while his companion comments on the beast that devastated half the city. He stands in shadow, cigarette between his lips, appearing anxious as a bright light looms behind him, hinting at an approaching danger. He answers his phone, urgently requesting a background check on someone named Luo Feichuan, while another man listens in curiosity, puzzled by the situation. He answers the phone with a worried expression, shocked to hear bad news, his anxiety visible in the beads of sweat on his forehead. He wonders about Xiao Mengyu, puzzled by the idea that she had some kind of connection with Sergeant Luo. Mr. Qian discusses concerns about their son, Shen Yi, needing to make a decision before reviewing the contract, while another character offers to step out for a smoke. The character reveals to Xiao Yi that his father and she can no longer conceal his prestigious background, stating he descends from the distinguished Sanjin Shen clan. He realizes that Shen Yi comes from an extraordinary background. Recalling a history book, he mentions that the Sanjin Shen clan inherited divine powers and artifacts. He recounts how her father, once a prodigy, faced challenges due to an ancient technique, leading to a disheartening past yet finding peace and happiness with her. He tells Xiao Yi that they are sharing this because his talent far exceeds the ordinary, hinting at acknowledging their lineage with his grandfather. He tells Xiao Yi that becoming a clan disciple offers unmatched resources and acknowledges the loss of opportunity if he joins the human martial arts group. The choice is his, with support from his mom and him. He decides to join the human martial arts group, addressing his parents with determination and a hint of hope. She asks if he is certain, suggesting they consult his grandfather, as his approval could lead to a life of wealth and comfort. He expresses reluctance to return, not wanting his parents to feel burdened. He pleads for their belief in him, hoping for a brighter future. He insists that they respect his decision, noting their son is now grown, while he resolves to fetch Mr. Qian. He reflects that over time, they seldom visited Grandpa, feeling the chill from him and the rest of the family during those visits. He recalls his fond memories of playing with the other family kids in his childhood and reflects on the hardships of his past life, realizing the true meaning of family love. Shen Yi signs a contract with the human martial arts group, expressing excitement over joining the team, while a cold-hearted family like the Shen clan is discussed. In a quiet corridor, a girl sits alone, anxiously tapping her fingers on her knees, surrounded by empty benches and dim lighting. A girl, with a phone in hand, grins mischievously, contemplating the consequences of revealing a classmate's dark secret, while others gossip about the situation and its repercussions. A hand holds a phone displaying a conversation, revealing someone's dedication to perfection, declaring she will remain the flawless goddess she believes herself to be. Facing a radiant light, she clenches her phone, reflecting determination as she vows to surpass everyone, including Sun Ming and the others. He hears a notification sound as she glances at her phone with anticipation, excitement sparkling in her eyes, ready to seize the moment. She anxiously checks her phone, discovering her post has been flagged for spreading misinformation, while he incredulously wonders why the school hasn't addressed it. The teacher proudly announces Shen Yi of class 3 to 5 has secured a contract with the human martial arts group, earning guaranteed admission offers from the top 5 provincial high schools. She felt defeated, sitting against the wall, reflecting on her near success, while Sun Ming called out, questioning if Bingbing was present. He looked up at the towering building of the human martial arts group, filled with disbelief and wondering how someone could belong to such a powerful organization. He noted that the police had sent a report about a huge battle where many died, and one was captured alive, commenting it was serious. He casually mentioned he only killed one person and earned 5 merit points. He inquired about merit points. Another explained they could buy special items, but since the other lacked a job title, he had no merit points. He asked what merit points could be used for, and another replied they could buy special items, but without a job title, he had none. Xu Newlin greeted Shen Yi warmly, congratulating him on joining the human martial arts group and teasingly calling him her little bro, due to their age difference. In the cozy room, a boy watches a video, while a woman on the screen encourages him to work hard for his dreams, promising VIP concert tickets. He gazed with awe, realizing Xu Newlin was Shen Yi's favorite celebrity, a fact that both excited and anxious him. He noted that everything in the room, from the flowers to the paintings, snacks, drinks, sports equipment, and even the celebrity, was all Shen Yi's favorites. He stepped outside, reflecting on how much effort the group exerted for a mere recruit, pondering the prestige that comes with power. As he admired the sunset from the tall building, he marveled at the allure of city life, dreaming of the heights and spectacular views. He gazed at the sunset, determined to enter the nightmare realm at midnight, knowing he needed to get stronger before the entrance exams in 2 days. He walked toward the ominous door, its frame glowing red, as if beckoning him into the unknown. He stepped into the eerie room, startled by the sight of scattered debris and exclaiming to himself about the horrific scene before him. He realized he couldn't act impulsively, as it would ruin his chances in the title evaluation, cautiously stepping back into the darkened room. He gasped, calling out for Shen Yi, feeling desperate and wounded, pleading for help amidst the chaos of battle and ominous surroundings. He looked down at the grotesque figure, questioning what had happened while frantically asking for more healing tonic, revealing his desperation and helplessness. He reflected on the irony of his fate, tears glistening as he realized he was about to die, chuckling darkly at the thought. He considered the irony of his fate, urging his companion to hold on while he hurried to devise a plan. Fern endured an agonizing wait, feeling hopeless as 2 hours dragged on amidst the scattered bones surrounding him, thinking, "I'm done for." Finally, Fern exclaimed he was back, struggling to fit through a door that's too small, feeling frustrated at the delay. He expressed how he bought a giant fish tank for her, filling it with special nutrients, while asking if she had any ideas for getting into it. He stood in shock amidst the chaos, wondering what was happening as debris scattered around the ominous, large, red object in the room. He exclaimed in frustration about the humans and elves breaking in, realizing this secret passage was crucial as danger lurked outside their stronghold. He expressed his weakness for battle, urging to wear a spatial ring immediately, as he felt the need to hide from impending danger. He stood frozen in fear, witnessing a grotesque creature emerge, as he clutched a glowing gem, feeling a mix of dread and anticipation. He exclaimed in surprise as debris flew around him, urgently commanding the door to disperse, fear evident in his posture and expression. He narrowly dodged the lightning strike, feeling relief as he thought he would have been done for if hit by that blast. He asked if someone was hiding inside the ring, recalling the bony figure had hidden good loot, while noting he was undead. He instructed someone to raise their hand toward the tank, assuring he would jump in. He questioned their true identity, revealing suspicions since the elven village. He prepared to enter another world, demanding full cooperation. He questioned if someone wished for death after an intense battle, while asserting his need for respect. He identified himself as the one who scavenges battlefields, expressing annoyance at not finding valuable items, while a skull with green eyes floated in water. He pondered that disguising himself as an undead soldier might help him return from the secret passage outside, aiming to earn a new title. He also inquired about undead soldier gear to conceal his human aura. He wondered about masking his aura, looking at the dismantled armor pieces scattered around him, contemplating how to use them effectively. He questioned the litter of armor pieces, feeling their history, while recalling how they served as reminders of the horrors of war. She urged him to search for something useful. He sighed, relieved to have gathered a complete set, while examining a token that promised the ability to summon a skeletal warhorse. He expressed that the Centurion mask was perfect, emphasizing its connection to death, while he questioned its significance in surprise. He mentioned that the mask was filled with a powerful death aura and declared that no other undead would see through the disguise with his gear. He confidently stated that now she looked like a genuine undead warrior, adding that if she played her cards right, she might even acquire a skeletal warhorse. He contemplated riding a skeletal warhorse, feigning to belong to the undead. If trouble arose, he mused about escaping, laughing at the idea of earning a title like Ghost Rider. He entered confidently, saying he was going in, while another warned him not to dare die, fearing they would find the ring and he'd be completely doomed. He focused intently, determined to try his best, while a swirling dark energy surrounded him, hinting at the challenge ahead. He appeared in a dimly lit cave, noting how entirely wrecked the place was, surrounded by rugged stone and debris. He recalled picking up a dagger in the elven lands and decided to use it for extra protection this time as he stood on a rocky ledge. He emerged from the rocky crevice, his hand gripping the stone edges, as the cool atmosphere surrounded him, hinting at danger lurking nearby. A skeletal figure in a dark cloak reveals itself, wide-eyed and startling, as its bony fingers extend like claws, conveying a sense of menace. As a soldier yells about a stray undead, another expresses disbelief, questioning how they could lose in the supposed undead territory. In a tense moment, he raises his hands, pleading, insisting he's human and they shouldn't attack, while fear flickers in his eyes. With anger in his eyes, he brandishes his sword at the traitor, exclaiming that siding with the undead deserves punishment. With determination, he swings his sword, shouting in pain as he confronts his enemy, determined to fight against the odds. Surprised, he stares at the glowing dagger, realizing it is Nightshade, a powerful weapon he never expected to encounter. He feels a surge of urgency as he grips Nightshade, the dagger made for assassination, aware that only those with pure souls can wield it. He inquired about wielding Nightshade, knowing only those with pure souls could. The commander ordered the others to return to hunting down the remaining undead. He asked his brother if he needed help, showing a willingness to assist while others waited in the shadowy background. He grinned, nervously mentioning a love confession at first sight, questioning if everyone in the nightmare realm was so bold. He wondered why someone was fixated on his mask, questioning its hidden significance, unsure about the gesture that seemed to carry deeper meaning. He reflected on how a bonehead gifted him a special item without explanation, smiling as he asked for help, feeling a bit trapped in his current situation. He felt the weight of responsibility, sweat trickling down his face as he received a solo combat pack, determined to face his challenges. He was surprised that it actually worked. Gratefully, he thanked the other and promised to return the favor someday, introducing himself as Roman. As a commotion stirred, Roman raised his hand, signaling for people to clear the path for the approaching Baron. As Roman lingered, a stern figure on horseback chastised him for delay, while Roman replied that he had spotted a scout near the ruined secret passage. A knight scowled at Roman, demanding to apprehend the scout immediately, revealing his suspicion of the undead spy with a nightshade dagger. Roman felt urgency. A hooded figure glared intensely, demanding to know the intruder's identity and their authority to question his mission. Baron Warren of Southern Eagle's castle boasted angrily, questioning the scout's audacity to ask for his name, threatening to uncover his secrets 20 times over. In the darkened battlefield, a cloaked figure confronts the soldiers, vowing to remember Warren's name with a fiery intensity as they brandish their weapons. A cloaked figure stands ominously as soldiers brandish their weapons, shouting that a mere scout dares to threaten them and demanding his death. The cloaked figure observes as soldiers charge, their weapons raised, while one soldier yells in challenge, initiating the chaos. Amidst the chaotic battlefield, confusion reigns as a warrior wonders aloud where the mysterious figure vanished, surrounded by scattered weapons reflecting a sense of urgency. A perplexed warrior, beads of sweat on his forehead, wonders how the figure could have vanished, while another figure reassures him there are no hidden passages or traps. A knight, arms crossed and looking serious, shares rumors about nameless assassins joining the battle, suggesting an unexpected danger. The knight smirks, stating that the assassins are masters of stealth, while teasing Warren for his bravery in revealing his name. A worried warrior contemplates the danger of elite killers trained for assassination on a chaotic battlefield, fearing the implications if he becomes a target. A determined warrior leads the charge on horseback, urging his companions onward with a fierce cry, his resolve evident in the icy landscape around them. He crashes to the floor, hair flying wildly as debris falls from the ceiling, with the room dimly lit by the blue glow outside. He reflects on his encounter with Baron Warren, vowing not to forget the betrayal. Annoyed, he chastises his ally for failing to notice the signals. Reflecting on his status, he realizes he has attained the title, one of us, with a quality rating of green, excellent, acknowledging the challenges that come with it. He receives a warning about his title, one of us, and learns he must proceed carefully to unlock a special ability. He contemplates the warning, realizing that 3 identical titles can unlock a latent ability, but risks losing his chance if he fails. He wonders how to obtain another green quality title, one of us, feeling the weight of the combat pack while contemplating his dire situation. He reflects on the 2, one of us, scenarios, recalling his challenges in the Elven village and the battlefield, where he had to earn their trust. He realizes the significance of a key, reflecting on the difficulty of navigating risky situations and prioritizing his life over dangerous abilities. He walks cautiously, a worried expression on his face, as the ominous sound, D-I-I-I-N-N-G, echoes around him, signaling danger in the dimly lit space. Mr. Shen stands alert as a light flickers, indicating a visitor. He learns she claims to be a relative of Liu Feichuan, whose identity was confirmed by their group. A character, with a serious expression, reflects on Sergeant Luo, who risked everything for their safety, affirming their determination to confront family matters ahead. He hopes to help with the family's troubles when suddenly, a voice asks if he is being sought. She stands confidently, her long purple hair flowing as she gazes over her shoulder, surrounded by floating petals amidst the city lights. He happily confirms his identity as Shen Yi, standing outdoors beneath a moonlit sky, casually dressed, with a friendly smile. Xia Mengyu introduces herself as Luo Feichen's younger sister, extending her hand confidently, surrounded by a purple aura, suggesting strength and mystery. He exclaims about titles, expressing his surprise that even Manager Qian lacks one, while noting that only the Elven High Priest has an extensive list of titles. He realizes that the girl is the second person he's encountered with a title, remembering her influence on Manager Qian's reaction. He explained that his brother tracked down an assassin, but during their fight, the weapon malfunctioned. He then discovered the culprits were his brother's classmates, motivated by jealousy. With a calm expression, she revealed that she had already killed them all, her eyes shimmering under the moonlight. With wide eyes reflecting fear and urgency, he panicked, realizing the gravity of the situation as darkness loomed around him. He questioned her about the captured killer, but she confirmed her actions, casually noting the implications of wielding a great weapon. She reflected on her brother's limited talent, sharing how she guided him towards a good school, job, and wife to secure the family's future. He wondered why Sergeant Luo, once considered a prodigy, was now referred to as a man of limited talent, realizing he had been betrayed and left hidden in a locker. She asked why he wasn't saying anything, questioning if she should let others bully him without seeking revenge. He raised his hands with a grin, asking if she wouldn't face consequences for retaliating against her bullies. She reflected on her noble heritage and the weight of her brother's death, emphasizing the Liu family's honor and her resolve to avenge him. He revealed that his mother's family name was Xiao and expressed understanding. After interrogating the assassin, he learned no one knew who hired him, and now the trail has gone cold. He asked if she had any idea who wanted her dead, urging her for even a vague guess, hoping for some names to take care of the issue. He admitted to her that he had no idea who was behind the threats, though she reminded him he had already avenged Sergeant Leo by eliminating those responsible. Determined, he vows to find the one who hired the assassin responsible for his brother's death, intending to eliminate both the assassin and the mastermind. He gazes in awe at the radiant sparks surrounding him, realizing that only then will the truth be revealed. He wonders if this is his greatest challenge yet, as towering ice formations loom overhead, crackling with purple energy, creating an awe-inspiring spectacle. He gasped in disbelief, stunned by the spectacle above as he thought, did she really just slice the sky in two? I never saw her draw her sword. She urged Shen Yi to recall any unusual events and warned him not to be swayed by noble families, offering her assistance if needed. He smiled softly, explaining that his family hardly interacts with the Sanjin Shen clan and that when he visits, he only associates with a few kids his age. He recalled hearing terrified screams in the hospital after his attack, while she vowed to investigate and share any findings promptly. He offered his contact information, thanking Shen Yi as she walked away. He cautioned her to be careful, feeling a sense of concern. He expressed concern over a terrifying slash, recalling how he asked if she intended to harm anyone, worrying she might face blame for Luo Feichen's death. He reflected on the most talented member of the Luo family, wondering if she was still in school or had started working, noting she was taking the high school entrance exams and was in the same grade. He encouraged her not to be discouraged about noble families starting their training early, reminding her she would be strong if she had grown up in that environment. In Shen Yi's room, he sat on the bed, feeling frustrated about noble families having the power to hire assassins, wondering who wanted him dead. Shen Yi, sitting on his bed, expressed his urgency to learn offensive skills, realizing that he could rely on himself above all else. Shen Yi, sitting on his bed, anxiously asked Big Skelly about the availability of nightmare crystals that grant abilities. Shen Yi expressed frustration about undead abilities, noting that without a soulfire, she couldn't use the nightmare crystals, recalling how she had accidentally obtained the Moonlit Deerwalk crystal. He sighed, frustrated about waiting until high school to learn decent offensive moves. He felt pressured with exams approaching and doubted he could beat the noble family kids. He paused, realizing he hadn't checked the combat pack that Roman had given him yet, while sitting on his bed in a dim room. He checked the combat pack, wondering if there were any useful items inside it, while sitting on his bed with a sense of urgency. He was surprised, holding a shimmering green crystal in his hand, exclaiming about its identity as a nightmare crystal. He anxiously hoped for a strong ability as he focused, surrounded by glowing green energy, while contemplating the Shadowhand Brotherhood's request to submit reports. He anxiously questioned, no abilities, while a shadowy figure sinisterly laughed, revealing that someone had marked him as a Shadowhand member. He pondered about his recent achievement, realizing he couldn't earn another title today, viewing this moment as a perfect opportunity to delve into the Nightmare Realm. He asked Skelly about the Centurion while expressing a desire to return to the Nightmare Realm, checking for any human gear beforehand. He held a shield with a fierce hound emblem and mentioned it belonged to the Rhine borderlands, assuring his companion that nobody would question a survivor. He showed a green crystal, explaining it was a distress letter from the Rhine Lord, suggesting his companion take it for convenience. He expressed surprise at the sudden concern for his well-being, while she insisted on repaying him for saving her, warning him about draining his calcium supply. He mentioned needing to assist with gaining standing in the Nightmare Realm to buy better materials for healing injuries, while responding positively to the suggestion. Under a haunting moonlight, fallen warriors lie scattered among skeletal remains, while two figures in armor sit together, embodying loneliness in a desolate battlefield. Under the moonlit sky, a soldier urgently calls for help, pointing to a wounded comrade on the ground while others approach quickly. Under the moonlight, he urges his brother to hold on, assuring him that base camp is just ahead, where they'll get him patched up quickly. Cautiously, he notes there are still soldiers clearing the battlefield, worried about encountering Roshiks and being recognized by the squad. He notices the vast number of bodies around and decides it's a good opportunity to gather some intel. He was surprised to see an undead giant and whispered about the murmurs of the dark, urging the giant to wake up for some urgent news. He asked if she knew anything about the mask while holding it next to the giant's decaying body, puzzled by the eerie green glow. He ran with urgency, a skull in hand, as he reassured the fallen giant, telling it to rest easy. He called out to his brothers, asking if they recognized the mask, but all responded with a firm, nope, surrounded by their fallen comrades. He sat in silence, gazing at his booted feet, while an unsettling chill permeated the atmosphere, reflecting his unease. He exclaimed in frustration, comparing the situation to finding a needle in a haystack, while the eerie landscape added to his despair. He looked up in surprise, his expression revealing a mix of shock and curiosity as he discovered something unexpected behind him. He gasped at the sight of a werewolf, realizing its keen sense of smell could be the answer he needed. He asked the werewolf if it had ever seen or smelled the mask, while holding a skull in his hand, highlighting the tension of the moment. He told the werewolf he recognized the mask as belonging to a centurion nearby, while the werewolf, insisting he's a wolf, urged the dog to go back. He noted the remnants of powerful magic as he examined a severed arm, questioning if Murmur of the Dark would be effective while reaching out to his brother. He reached out with a severed arm, fingers trembling, questioning the effectiveness of Murmur of the Dark while trying to connect with his brother. He excitedly revealed the signature gesture of Shadowhand, believing he found the mosque's owner, reaching out and asking his brother if he had any information. He pointed with a shadowy arm, intensifying his resolve as he focused intently on his target. A severed arm lies among jagged rocks and grass, surrounded by an eerie atmosphere, hinting at the aftermath of a violent encounter. He grimaced, complaining about the awful smell of his boots. Suddenly, he felt something inside them, causing a surge of curiosity. He spotted a glowing blue eye emerging from his bag, stirring a mix of intrigue and astonishment as he held a small white piece of paper. He discovered that collecting special items unlocked the ability to view their descriptions, and he admired the glowing blue knight shadow insignia he held in his hand. He wondered if the item was a weapon, clutching his shield tightly as he scanned his surroundings with uncertainty. He held a shimmering sword surrounded by swirling blue energy, awe lighting up his expression as he explored its mysterious potential. He felt the energy surge through the sword as it leveled up, transforming from nightshade to nightfall, excitement evident on his face. He felt a rush of pride as he held the exceptional Nightfall dagger, aware that only high-ranking assassins from the Shadowhand Brotherhood could wield its unique power. He exclaimed in excitement as he held his newly upgraded Nightfall dagger, thrilled to discover a letter nearby. He examined the mission notice about the urgent investigation of undead activity, realizing the importance of the Shadowhand mission for the survival of their races. He held a crystal given by Al Roman, realizing its importance as he mentioned a tent marked with 3 upright daggers, linking it to the Shadowhand's location. He thought Roman might be a member who recognized him. He demanded information on unusual undead activity, claiming the task was easy, while the other, kneeling and panicked, denied knowing anything. He demanded information on unusual undead activity, insisting it was easy, while the kneeling figure panicked, claiming they knew nothing, saying regular soldiers only get orders to fight. He sat amidst glowing rocks, exhaling in frustration, feeling that the situation was truly burdensome. He stood among fallen warriors, armor gleaming, offering to share crucial information as shadows loomed around him. He pointed at the glowing undead, insisting they had a ready-made ally, while questioning if the undead was genuinely trustworthy. He smirked, asserting that although the undead were his kind, they all seemed to plot against him. He noted that the guy always faced difficulties among the undead, while asking what kind of intel was needed, earth-shattering or average. He expressed his limitations, fearing overreach. He then revealed vital intel about the undead's artillery enhancements, boosting both power and firing rate. He wondered if the crystal was too precious. While she assured him that the higher-ups already had their suspicions, they only needed proof. She felt the plan was ideal. It was useful yet subtle enough to avoid attracting notice as she carried the package through the darkened landscape. She thought the main army was camped nearby, pondering how to enter the Shadow Hand drop-off location hidden amid the darkening mountains. He suggested pretending to be wounded soldiers so they could gain entry, while another off-screen character asked about the healthcare quality on the battlefield. He explained that human holy magic is superior to that of the elves, noting a monetary requirement for healing, while another character pondered the undead's condition. He expressed frustration about their usual practice of abandoning the dying, while another character mentioned the hassle involved in providing treatment. He discussed the need for a ritual to trap a group of undead or living beings to drain their life force, noting it risks others' lives. He pondered that humans are more cost-effective and lamented being broke, while another character protested, claiming they weren't broke, excited by the news. He stood beside the massive, defeated creature, confidently declaring his plan, determined to take advantage of the situation. He strained against the massive sign, breathing heavily, as he decided to allocate all his points to strength, while a stunned figure nearby questioned his actions. He grinned while lifting the heavy sign, warning that if he lost his voice, he would need help, as a small creature looked on, surprised. He watched as the heavy object crashed down, sending dust swirling around him, a mixture of fear and determination on his face. He coughed as he lay on the ground, frustrated about the minor role he couldn't even play dead for. He cried for assistance, feeling helpless as he struggled to escape from beneath the heavy object, desperately calling out for anyone nearby. He pointed urgently towards the sky, urging his companion to notice the voice calling for help in the dark night. He waved his arm frantically, shouting for help, while reassuring his companion that they were coming for the wounded person. Against the starry night, the tents stand lifeless among the barren trees, their dim light offering a glimpse of hope in the dark atmosphere. Amidst a mystical glow, the young priestess raises her hand, channeling energy while holding a book, her focus unwavering as she performs a sacred ritual. The young man lies on a bed, his face contorted in pain as green energy surrounds him, suggesting a powerful force is affecting him. The young man lies on the bed with a grimace, green energy swirling around him, as he experiences a moment of intense recovery. A young man lies recovering on a table, groaning softly as a healer announces the completion of his treatment, while others prepare for payment. As he lies confused, he asks where he is, while a man in a cape reassures him that he's safe in the human camp and questions his identity. He introduces himself as Prince Norden and questions the individual about their shield that bears the fierce hound emblem, asking if they are from Rhine. He exclaims with relief after finding someone, urgently stating that Rhine is under attack by the undead and requests immediate assistance from the Lord. He stands confidently, holding a glowing green orb while a younger man watches in awe, and a noble figure looks on, intrigued by the display of power. Lord Lawrence of Rhine passionately calls upon the people of the Empire, offering 300 gold coins and land to anyone who can help save their territory. An elder recognizes Lawrence's voice, confirming the crystal's authenticity as the atmosphere thickens with anticipation and intrigue. The commander informs the young man that he is indeed from Rhine, revealing the shocking news that Rhine has been annihilated and he is the sole survivor. Devastated, the young man laments his family's fate, exclaiming disbelief that none of them survived, while an onlooker observes with a smirk. The woman reassures her son, acknowledging his struggle against the Lindead giant, emphasizing that he's a miracle, then advises him to rest and not worry about anything. He expresses his determination to find the Shadowhand's tent to report intel, insisting he must learn techniques to ensure he isn't overlooked. He expresses gratitude towards his lord but pleads to remain on the battlefield, questioning the reason behind the request. He vows to avenge his people, fueled by rage, insisting that he won't let the undead escape justice for their actions. They sit solemnly, deep in thought, silence enveloping the room as their expressions reflect concern and determination. He admired her courage at such a young age, noting that the Rhine Lord must have chosen her for this important mission, implying she had some extraordinary skill. He confidently declared his speed, claiming no one his age could match him, and after consuming a green title, he reallocated his stat points to agility, boosting his skills. He urged his master to observe closely as he prepared for something significant, surrounded by tents under the darkening sky. Startled by an unexpected sound, he sprinted forward, while two figures looked on, their expressions filled with surprise at his sudden action. He dashed forward, a trail of speed behind him, while the onlookers, including a man with golden hair in a red uniform, watched in amazement. Breathing heavily and exhausted, he pleaded to his lord, asking to remain on the front lines now. Impressed, he admired the incredible child, urging his lord to allow the child to fight and avenge their fallen comrades while promising to take care of him. He curiously asked the elegant elf in a flowing green gown where the child had gotten the bracelet. He was surprised at the bracelet's craftsmanship and learned from the elf that it was given by someone named Laney. He revealed the undead plot from before, assuring the elves they wouldn't encounter issues. The elf, adorned with leafy attire, pointed with confidence. He excitedly asked Laney about her encounter, expressing his admiration for her magic trick and inquiring when she would return to their village. Laney, with a serious gaze, demanded answers about undead spies infiltrating the village, mentioning the high priest who had been searching for him. One character assured the other, saying they would call back, while their hands nearly touched, showing a moment of connection. A regal woman in a flowing green dress spoke to Prince Norden, highlighting a young man's agility and connections to their 11 people, suggesting he should study at the imperial capital. The confident prince agreed to arrange for a human stay, asking for an ID and preparations while instructing a recorder to document everything for the military academy. The prince, with a charming smile, asked the anxious boy for his full name, indicating preparation for an important event. A distressed boy, clutching his head, groaned about his amnesia while kneeling before a concerned figure in regal attire. A concerned figure acknowledged the old man's explanation about the boy's head trauma from the undead titan's hammer, expressing gratitude for the assistance. He urged her to rest, assuring her that whatever needed to be done could wait, as his concern for her well-being was evident. He smirked at the boy, saying they would meet again, acknowledging the boy's resilience in facing calamities. The boy stood confidently, surrounded by a powerful aura, as he learned of his newfound reputation and the opportunity to earn a unique title, the boy who lived. He wondered about the title, the boy who lived, feeling confused and distressed, questioning how he could get rid of it while touching his forehead. He learned that to discard a self-created title, he could either hide from everyone or act opposite to what the title suggests, allowing perceptions to shift. He eagerly planned to vanish for a time, while a joyful figure teased him, insisting on calling him the boy who survived disasters. He questioned Big Skelly about Prince Norden, the eldest of the royal family and future emperor, impressed by his achievements and curious about his presence. She found the kid intriguing and asked him what he had seen. She remarked on the young boy's high-ranking shadow hand insignia, noting his exceptional talent. He replied, surprised, asking if she meant the dagger. He smiled, recognizing the boy's unique talent, noting the elusive nightfall symbol. He felt fortunate to encounter such skill and proposed nominating him for a Medal of Valor. He stood beneath the tent featuring crossed swords and a cross, admiring the structure's design under the deepening twilight, feeling a sense of adventure and anticipation. He excitedly welcomed her into the Shadowhand's tent, explaining it was the intel drop-off point set up near the army encampment. He stood with his back to the viewer, nonchalantly ignoring the bare pelt on the wall as his friend watched, a beer mug on the table. He cleared his throat, smiling shyly as he gestured with his hand, wishing for everyone to be protected by the shadows. He asked his brother about the news, showing a mischievous sign with his hand, hinting at excitement as he turned to face him. He revealed his discovery from the undead soulfire cannon, acknowledging the increase in artillery power, while the bald man appreciated the intel and requested something in return. The bald man inquired about what was available, while the clever merchant promised an array of goods that would leave him amazed. He revealed a tactical camouflage dagger, explaining that its special poison could deceive opponents into believing one had died. Perfect for assassins in battle, he explained that the fresh poison with a 2-year shelf life could induce a deep, guaranteed sleep. Then he asked if there was anything else needed. He stood shocked as a horse reared dramatically in front of him, its powerful form contrasting against the darkened sky. He looked puzzled as a man advised him, saying a horse that plays dead only needs a wink to collapse like a sack of potatoes. He smiled while asking if the item was meant to match the dagger, inquiring about a possible set, and then mentioned a sharp eye, wondering if there was anything else. He held up a pair of sunglasses, confidently claiming they were veil-piercing lenses, determined to impress with this intriguing item. He excitedly shared that the shadow crystal lenses could reveal valuables on anyone, while two muscular men argued about whose was larger. He asked about nightmare crystals, hoping to gain new skills, while the vendor explained supplies were low due to the ongoing war and offered his last two. He explained that the first crystal, bleeding, is a beginner skill causing endless bleeding, usable with blades, but he could only offer basic knowledge. He mentioned a second ability, Frostwind, offering a unique weapon. A voice urged him to choose, stirring confusion and intrigue. He pondered the voice, realizing it belonged to the same mysterious figure who had introduced him to both Frostwind and the Nightshade dagger. He questioned why the figure had chosen Frostwind, receiving a reply about a new world's challenge involving the Shadow Mirage spell and the Beast Lord's Thunderclap. He decided to learn new abilities to uncover a secret, agreeing to take Frostwind when offered. Excited, he claimed it as his. He grasped the shimmering blue crystal tightly, feeling a surge of energy coursing through him, determined to master its power. He gazed intently, surrounded by glowing blue tendrils that seemed to swirl around him, illuminating the silhouettes of figures that danced in the light. He asked if he required further assistance, explaining that while Frostwind was just a simple kick technique, the information provided was significantly more valuable. He decided to use gold to settle the difference, expressing gratitude as he handed the bag over. He asked Big Skelly for help with an undead ability, but Skelly reminded him that they needed soulfire, mentioning Shadow Mirage. He questioned how she knew about Shadow Mirage, but she insisted it didn't matter if he had the spell, only that she needed it. He explained it was a basic illusion spell, needing agility and psychic energy to cast. He calculated his stats, noting that allocating 3 points to psychic energy and 4 to agility brought his total to 8.9, confirming he met the requirements. He realized he needed to find a hidden spot quickly, thinking he would be in trouble if anyone discovered him using undead magic. He glanced nervously over his shoulder, sensing danger lurking in the shadows of the dark forest, the tension palpable in the air. He summoned a dark, shadowy figure, the Shadow Mirage, which loomed ominously above the desolate landscape as trees swayed in the eerie night. He summoned a surge of purple energy, illuminating the dark forest as the Shadow Mirage trembled nearby. He dismissed the Shadow Mirage as useless, thinking it only delivered fear, while teasing about a spell he found unworthy. He said she wouldn't understand, mentioning that with Moonlit Deerwalk, Frostwind, and Shadowstep collected, only Thunderclap remains to complete his set. He finally found the boy who survived the calamities, but the boy insisted that he stop calling him that. A messenger grins, sharing the exciting news that due to his brave actions, Prince Norden has chosen to award him a Medal of Valor and a letter of recommendation. A messenger expresses gratitude for the prince's generosity, assuring he will train hard and serve the nation, while receiving a letter for the military academy. Feeling grateful for the prince's kindness, he realizes he can manage his living expenses and knows the gold from the Shadowhand Brotherhood will be useful too. Feeling accomplished, he decides it's time to return home, knowing his goals are fulfilled. Under the clear blue sky, tall buildings reflect sunlight, suggesting a bright and hopeful day ahead. A holographic avatar in a sleek blue outfit informs Mr. Shen Yi that his gold has been exchanged for 65,444 yuan, confirming the transfer to his account. He stands with a remote in hand, thanking the holographic character on the screen as the phone rings persistently. He walks through a luxurious hallway, explaining to Xiao that the money he received is from joining the HMA group, teasing about heading to the cafeteria. Shen Yi stands in a luxurious hallway, surprised by his overflowing messages since entering the Nightmare Realm, as his loved ones proudly congratulate him on joining the human martial arts group. Zhao Yibing messages Shen Yi, expressing regret and suggesting a movie tonight to make amends, her expression revealing a mix of emotions. He contemplated, blush marking his cheeks, as he stared at his phone, lost in thought. He gazed at his phone, feeling conflicted, knowing Bingbing would never have him, despite her beauty, such a waste. He received a text announcing his signing with the Human Martial Arts Group. Excitedly, he agreed to celebrate with Haoyu tonight. He expressed concern about being targeted by the League of Assassins, making leaving too risky, but noted that Haoyu just wanted to celebrate with him. He reflected on how, although the original owner of his body is gone, the friendship with Chen Haoyu remains strong, and he cherishes this genuine bond from their shared past. He received a text message asking if he could give a tour of the Human Martial Arts Group, expressing excitement about the dream workplace. He enthusiastically confirmed that the group allows visitors, eager to share experiences. He invited his friend to grab lunch together and agreed to meet in the lobby soon. He watched as a group of individuals moved towards a bright, open area, curious about their destination and the artwork ahead. He observed the imposing figure of a tall man towering over a group, a chilling atmosphere surrounding them as they prepared for an intense confrontation. He noticed that the aura surrounding the group was unlike regular people, pondering if they were the professionals Mr. Qian had mentioned. He asked if she was one of the newcomers this year. She nervously apologized, realizing she had been staring at him. He smiled confidently, recalling his own early days when he would admire the professionals in the group, just like the newcomer does now. He smiled cheerfully at his companion, asking if he was eager to become like the professionals, to which the other simply replied, "Nope." His expression was fierce as he recalled, back then he thought all of them were arrogant jerks and wanted to tear them to shreds. He gazed up, a single tear on his cheek, questioning the arrogance of those he saw as professionals, expressing his disdain for their unruly attitude. He stood still, surprised by the imposing figure before him, while the woman in the hat observed with a mix of intrigue and annoyance. A tall man, muscular and bald, asks a younger guy if he's on duty today and suggests they grab dinner later, as a woman in a hat looks on. A woman in a hat brandishes a gun, warning a muscular man to leave her alone, as a younger man looks on, shocked. A woman in a hat points a gun, telling a burly man to ease up. She informs that a boy named Chen Haoyu seeks him, while another man, looking anxious, requests to let Haoyu pass. He confidently assures her to stay put while he heads off to fetch the burly man, but she insistently tells him not to bother, stating she will go get him herself. She playfully adjusts her hat, explaining that they must follow Manager Qian's strict instructions, emphasizing their need to keep her safe in this tricky situation. He nervously agrees, tension evident on his face, as he feels the weight of the situation surrounding him. He exclaims in awe about the blinding place, while his friend, looking impressed, acknowledges his success by saying he has really made it big. One friend walks confidently with an arm around the other, praising him as a legend for signing with the Human Martial Arts Group, while teasing about the school's reaction. He reassures his friend it's too early to eat, eager to see where he's staying, while they both step into the elevator marked O3. A tense encounter unfolds as a group of friends stands before a figure in the doorway, one of them remarking that it's noisy. As they stand in the elevator, one friend points out that their destination is on the 105th floor, while another exclaims in surprise about living so high. He looks surprised while holding his phone as it buzzes, signaling an incoming message. The atmosphere is tense with anticipation. Xiao Mengyu explains that a nurse witnessed the anomaly attack at the hospital but is now missing, and they only found a mangled body, confirming she's not the one. A notification buzzes on the phone, revealing a message from Xiao Mengyu, who shares a video link, urging someone to take a look. He walks alone down a dimly lit street, feeling the weight of suspicion that the nurse was silenced due to someone else's actions. He walks by a building, alert and cautious, as a message buzzes about him rerunning background checks on everyone nearby. He stares wide-eyed, filled with intensity and suspense, as dark shadows loom around him, heightening the tension of the moment. He stands in the dim light, looking up with a startled expression, as a buzzing sound fills the air. He seemed very suspicious at school yesterday morning, moving around as if he were searching for something. He wondered if Chen Haoyu was searching for him yesterday morning and questioned his own actions. He recalled being in the nightmare realm, making him difficult to find. He felt a sense of urgency as he looked around, wondering if Chen Haoyu was searching for him while gazing out at the towering buildings. He smiled and raised his hand, warning that if she encountered Chen Haoyu, she should exercise extreme caution. He heard the ding indicating they reached the 105th floor and excitedly exclaimed that he had never been this high in his life, while his friend, looking relaxed, walked behind him. He excitedly insists to Yi to show him his room, eagerly running down the hallway towards the one at the very end. He excitedly points toward a door, exclaiming that he is almost there, clearly thrilled about reaching his destination. He smirks, confidently asserting his skills in a surge of energy, questioning if his opponent is ready for what's to come. With a burst of energy, he executes a powerful move, capturing his opponent's attention as the vibrant aura surrounds him. He turns sharply, desperately dodging a fierce attack, while the other character, stunned, watches blood trickle down from his forehead, shocked and horrified. He cries out in terror, his eyes wide with fear as a powerful, violet energy surrounds him, accentuating his panic in the intense moment. He questions if it's an illusion, disbelief etched on his face, while thinking how impossible it is for a kid to be so advanced in martial arts. He unleashes a powerful strike, surrounded by swirling blue energy, while the opponent recoils in pain, blood spattering from the impact. He allocates consecutive stat points, activating a powerful moonlit technique, enhancing his speed and deception as swirling ice energy surrounds him. He questions, wondering, where is Chen Haoyu? After successfully executing heaven-shattering frost moon, incomplete, his body has gained extraordinary refinement, increasing strength, agility, and psychic energy. He laughs maniacally, declaring the opponent dead, while wielding a weapon surrounded by swirling smoke and a chaotic atmosphere. He lunges forward, filled with determination, threatening that the opponent will soon join him in an explosive confrontation, while energy crackles around him. He delivers a swift kick, energy swirling around him, as his opponent braces for impact, showcasing a fierce clash of power. He smirks confidently, claiming he can block the kick effortlessly with one hand behind his back, while a faint blue energy crackles around him. As he activates guaranteed knockback, he is shocked, exclaiming to himself, "What the?" while a powerful blue energy surges around him. He pulls out a weapon, realizing it's the secret the voice mentioned, thinking how surprising it is that combining basic techniques can create such power. He swiftly dodges multiple beams of energy, amazed at how combining basic techniques generates such incredible power in this intense moment of battle. He dodges swiftly, expressing frustration at the opponent's missed shots, commenting on the gun hidden away, while energy crackles between them. He stands alert, holding a snack, as an alarm blares about gunshots on the 105th floor, insisting he wasn't aiming to strike anyone. An alarm resonates as drones hover near the skyscraper, alerting all professionals that gunshots have been detected on the 105th floor, requiring immediate response. A character stands in shock, surrounded by explosive bursts, as dark energy radiates from his arm, indicating a powerful transformation. A startled character rushes toward Vena, exclaiming that the enemy's skill easily outmatched them, while Vena, dressed for action, strides confidently, showcasing her readiness. A fierce Vena confronts a bloodied enemy, demanding answers about their intentions while threatening a brutal consequence if he refuses to speak. With a wicked grin and blood trickling down his face, the enemy defiantly declares he won't share any information, while the atmosphere grows tense. In shock, she realizes he bit down on a poison capsule hidden in his molar, while he laments his missed chance to knock him out first. In shock, he reflects on the impossible skill of mastering foresight, while she nervously considers the repercussions of their actions. In shock, he reflects on someone's impressive foresight skills, while she worries about the consequences of her actions, fearing Ms. Wena's anger. He hears that the tech team finished the autopsy, revealing the victim was a highly skilled assassin, as he stands before the morgue door. She apologizes for her shortcomings, explaining that the victim left no identifiable belongings, and cybernetics database reveals no records of him. She reassures him, saying it's not his fault, mentioning the flawless skin shift technique. He agrees, stating the corpse is now useless. He tells his friends to leave, claiming he will stay for a bit longer while they head out. He confidently assures his friend that he will wait on the roof later. Unbeknownst to him, another observes, noting his unique ability to sense death. He commands the mysterious figure to arise, demanding answers as an eerie green light emanates from a covered body on the table, titled Murmurs of the Dark. He gasps in shock, his expression bewildered, as eerie green light emerges from his head, realizing a shocking truth about communicating with the dead. He laughs maliciously, revealing eerie green light from his eyes, while the figure behind him defiantly states, refusing to share any information. He laughs with malicious excitement, revealing eerie green light in his eyes, while questioning what happens if the captive remains silent. He stares in shock, bewildered, as dark figures loom behind him, horrified to witness the tortured state of his captive. In a fiery explosion, he screams in agony as demonic hands claw at him, consumed by chaos and pain. In a chaotic scene, a skeletal figure emerges, surrounded by flames and darkness, conveying a sense of impending doom and despair. As the skeletal figure with glowing green eyes emerges amidst the chaos, he expresses confusion through his silence, surrounded by crackling energy. With glowing green eyes and stitches on his forehead, he shouts in disbelief, "What?" as darkness looms around him. With flames engulfing him, he proclaims joyfully that he remembers a soul cursed to be tormented, promising the flames will burn for a century, just as a warm-up. He reveals that the soul torments last 100 million years, endlessly cycling until it speaks, while wraiths await to be summoned. The terrifying skeleton, with glowing green eyes and a skeletal frame, screams in desperation, demanding the torment to cease, insisting it will reveal everything. A shocked character, wearing a sleeveless shirt and dark pants, stands before a motionless figure covered by a sheet, flames swirling around in anticipation. He smirks while holding his phone, commenting that they've returned, and it seems like someone has finally lost their composure. He confidently demands to know everything, emphasizing every single detail, as he stands by the table where a shirtless man lies, illuminated ominously. Moments before, the sun dipped behind the dormitory building, painting the sky with orange hues, setting the scene atop the girls' dormitory. As the sun set, she recalled her conversation with Mr. Han, feeling frustrated about her failed mission regarding Shen Yi. As the sun sets, she anxiously reads Mr. Han's message about their meeting at the Maplewood Hotel, questioning whether she should even attend. As the sun sets, she answers the call, surprised to learn she was accepted into the elite high school program, thanking the caller excitedly. As the sun sets, she expresses her gratitude to Mr. Han through her phone, promising to arrive on time tonight, excitement evident in her eyes. She appears anxious as the other woman demands her phone and questions her about whom she was just talking to. The woman with a sword confronts the anxious girl, demanding to know her identity and questioning her strange behavior, while the girl defiantly replies that it's none of her business. With a determined gaze, he swiftly swings his sword, radiating confidence and strength, his long purple hair flowing dramatically behind him. With a fierce expression, she questions the situation, gripping her sword tightly, prepared for any challenge, her determined demeanor shining through. With an intense look, he threatens Zhao Yibing, saying the key to her heart isn't grades, but her charming face, demanding her phone while brandishing a sword. With determination, she confronts her opponent, declaring that no matter their identity, they won't escape justice, signaling that the cops will intervene shortly. She speaks into her phone, asking Shen Yi for new intel, revealing she has caught an assassin and is currently interrogating him for a confession. She screams for Shen Yi, while flipping through pages, realizing the person before her is seeking revenge as he confirms Shen Yi sent him. He reveals they are assassins from the League of Assassins, explaining they received a joint contract to eliminate him, making it look like an accident. He reveals they orchestrated a fake disaster at the hospital, using Chen Haoyu as bait, expecting him to die, yet he somehow survived despite all odds. He explained they not only aimed to kill but also to understand the failed ritual and retrieve the artifact. A cop discovered them, leading to a plan adjustment that ended their lives. He told Officer Luo he hid the body in a police station locker, asking about Chen Haoyu's whereabouts. Another mentioned the earlier referenced body found in the school sewers. He squeezed his phone tightly, cracking the screen in frustration. He anxiously asked who had hired the mysterious figure, his expression tense and searching as he awaited an answer. He urged the figure lying on the bed to talk, his eyes fixated on the phone as he demanded to know who had hired him. The man with stitches on his head, eyes glowing green, spoke urgently about how only the leader of the operation knew all the details. He asked urgently about the leader, demanding to know their identity and whereabouts. They speak of a criminal known as the Skinner, infamous for his deadly skills, lurking near the Maplewood Hotel to eliminate his target. He wondered about the killer known as the Skinner and contemplated his unfathomable powers, realizing he had never noticed any signs of weakness. He pondered why, despite his strong reputation in the assassination world, the Skinner had not targeted him directly, considering it a major mistake in his career. He asked if the other believed the Skinner had no distinguishing traits, while a captured figure replied that his unique hobby was worth mentioning. He looked tense as he pondered the idea of cannibalism, while she appeared calm and confident, ready to discuss the unsettling topic. He decided to visit the Skinner, while a strange green glow emerged from the body on the table, and he was interrupted by a call that abruptly ended. He laughed menacingly, saying he didn't know who the girl was, but warned that if she pursued the Skinner, she would meet a grim fate. With a fierce scream, blood splattered from his mouth, and his glowing green eyes revealed his rage as he faced the oncoming threat. With a fierce determination, he charged forward as a figure with a glowing green aura leapt through the air, blood trailing behind, intensifying the chaos. With a cold glare, he warned not to answer unasked questions, then ordered the figure on the ground to flee. Under a moonlit sky, the Maplewood five-star hotel looms grandly, surrounded by dark woods, its windows glowing softly like eyes watching the night. He carefully cuts into the meat, drenching it in a rich, red sauce, focused on his meal amid the shadowy atmosphere. He sits at the elegantly set table, savoring his meal, while she watches silently, the dim candlelight creating a mysterious atmosphere around them. He contemplates the creamy, dense texture of his drink, noting its sweetness and slight astringent aftertaste, while she comments on how hiding outside has increased his stress. He takes a sip from the elegant glass, savoring the rich, dark liquid as he pauses in thought, the atmosphere thick with anticipation. He enjoys the rich, full-bodied drink, contemplating its flavors, while she comments on the cocktail's ability to enhance the meal's taste, praising its artistry. He reflects on how long it's been since he enjoyed such a quality meal, while she feels moved by his compliment. He expresses his intention to savor every bit of her cooking, but is interrupted by his phone buzzing. He apologizes, noting that some rude people can't help but interrupt their meal. Meanwhile, Mr. Han instructs someone to handle the target personally. He sighs, realizing Mr. Han wants him to take responsibility for the task. 3 assassins are already dead, and Mr. Han suggests offering him a girl in return. He chuckles, claiming he isn't a scavenger, while reflecting on his high standards regarding the girl Mr. Han suggested. He gazes intently at his phone with a mix of intrigue and concern, his striking purple eyes reflecting his emotions as he processes unexpected news. He leans back in his chair, gazing adoringly at his red phone, overwhelmed with feelings as he breathes out, calling someone a beautiful, innocent lamb. He gazes at her with a playful smile, claiming he can sense her youth, while another character expresses gratitude for the delightful encounter. Mr. Han walks confidently, considering the importance of timing as he prepares for an essential meeting at 8 o'clock with the girl. He realizes his perfume isn't right and feels the need for a shower. Noticing his tie, he decides it needs changing along with his socks. He thinks about brushing his teeth thoroughly to truly enjoy the flavor. He suddenly remembers something important, his expression shifting as he exclaims, "Oh, right." His silver hair reflects the dim light. He nearly forgets a crucial detail, his silver hair shimmering as he stands near the table, softly illuminated by candlelight. He extends his hand, fingers gently glowing with energy, a look of focus on his face as shadows swirl around him. She looks resolute, dark hair flowing behind her as she declares that their relationship is over, words hanging in the air like a final goodbye. He stands confidently against a vibrant red background, dismissing any doubt as he asserts that he wouldn't let anyone dictate his actions. He stands beside a glowing holographic display, receiving verification for his identity and preparing to speak a unique activation command, reflecting determination on his face. He shows excitement, giving a thumbs up while marveling at a breathtaking line of energy emanating from the character encased in a dazzling blue shield. He expresses awe, exclaiming about the motorcycle soaring through a crackling blue energy field, amazed by the spectacle before him. He excitedly declares how amazing the motorcycle is, reminiscing about what he could have accomplished at that age. Intrigued, he inquires about its specifications. He enthusiastically talks about the motorcycle's flying capabilities, while a man in a dark coat explains it runs on autopilot, linking to a charging station for automatic billing. He imagines the motorcycle in red, claiming it would be even more striking, likening it to a streak of fire. He expresses surprise at the motorcycle, realizing it changes colors, finding it impressive that it has advanced chameleon tech that shifts hues on command. He sighs, expressing disappointment that the motorcycle is a high-tech escape vehicle instead of a secret martial arts manual as he had hoped. He cautions that once activated, the motorcycle turns into a pure electric jet, faster than imagined. He wonders if Kunlun, knowing his danger, is aware of who is pursuing him. He states that even if it engages, it won't concern itself with something so small. Its main focus is the survival of human civilization. He adds that unless one proves their worth, no rewards or redeem codes aligned with their perspective will be given. He contemplates worth, expressing that in this world, value determines life or death, just like Officer Luo and Chen Haoyu. He worries about Xiao Mengyu, hoping she avoids that Skinner. He insists that she should stay at the group hotel, while promising to take her to the exam venue in the morning. She reassures him, stating she's not going anywhere, and he confirms that the entire floor will be locked down for safety. Under a starry sky, 2 figures in traditional attire approach a grand, dimly lit mansion, sword at the ready, tension palpable between them. Under a dark sky, a girl anxiously thinks about Mr. Han's reaction to her bringing another girl along, while the other girl stands quietly beside her. In the shadows, a girl feels an undetectable killing intent as she gazes at the ominous mansion behind her. He explained that an online friend had provided him with various elixirs and solutions for performance, ensuring his acceptance into an elite high school. She listened intently. She confronted her captor, asserting that she was the one in control, while expressing doubt about the other's knowledge of her fate. She contemplated her humble beginnings, noting Zhao Yibing's simple transaction, unaware it was leading her into deeper trouble. She warned Zhao Yibing to hide nearby and testify later, emphasizing he should pretend they never met that night. She walked away with a determined expression, while another girl watched with a sly smile, embodying their growing rivalry under the moonlit sky. She gripped the sword tightly, ready for confrontation, as a shadowy figure loomed in the background, igniting tension in the darkened courtyard. He stood in a tuxedo with an outstretched arm, signaling her forward, while she appeared nervous yet intrigued in her school uniform, under the dimly lit chandelier. He smiled, expressing excitement to meet her, calling her the most beautiful and talented young lady. He offered to recommend her for admission into an elite school. She blushed while holding a rose, appreciating Mr. Han's more human presence in person and expressing gratitude for his generosity, though unsure how to repay him. She holds a rose nervously, thankful for Mr. Han's assurance that he will protect her from any retaliation. He walks confidently with her by his side, a protective grip on her arm, as she glances up with a mix of uncertainty and trust. She shivers, exclaiming how cold it is while clutching him tightly for warmth, her breath visible in the icy atmosphere. She boldly decides it's the perfect moment to take his arm, while light streaks dramatically around them in the darkened room. He warns her to be cautious of the wind, sensing a powerful sword intent coming from outside, while she feels captivated by his scent. He contemplates needing to accelerate his plans, while she, feeling flustered and slightly overwhelmed, insists she can't let this romantic moment be ruined. He suggests recommending Bingbing for the entrance exams to the top 3 high schools, leaving her in thoughtful silence. He mentions that the top 3 high schools are a dream for every student, claiming acceptance secures a future, allowing her to rise above common folks. Mr. Han questions the seriousness of the other man, who reflects on a past archaeological expedition and mentions receiving a special access code for top 3 high schools entrance exam. Mr. Han comforts the girl, assuring her of his support to grow stronger, while she worries about her lack of strength, reminding her to enter information on her phone. She holds her phone, reading that Zhao Yibing is now qualified for the top 3 high schools joint entrance exam. Just before the sword intent affects her, she hugs Mr. Han tightly, expressing her gratitude with, "OMG. Mr. Han, thank you." He asks, "Are you happy, Bingbing?" She smilingly said she's incredibly happy, her hand gently touching her cheek as a soft glow surrounds her. With a soft smile, he thought about the upcoming harvest time, a glimmer of excitement reflecting in his eyes. With a gentle blush, she smiled brightly, her hands cupping her face in delight, feeling a warm wave of happiness. In a dramatic moment, he kisses her, sealing their emotions, as a surge of anticipation hangs in the air, marked by the intense backdrop. She smiles joyfully and responds that she is equally happy, while he gently brushes her hair aside, surrounded by vibrant splashes of color. Together, they declare that they have created a true masterpiece, their hands entwined as vibrant energy swirls around them. Overwhelmed by emotion, he expresses how just seeing her brings tears to his eyes, while she stands mesmerized, frozen at the peak of her beauty. With tears streaming down his face, he eagerly declares his anticipation to savor her essence, his expression filled with both longing and excitement. Amid a storm of ice, 2 figures face each other, tension crackling in the air as powerful magic surges around them. In a tense moment, one girl reflects on her delay, realizing the boy's strength exceeds her expectations, despite her intentions to intimidate him. In a chaotic scene, he screams in desperation, warning someone not to touch her, as multiple figures swirl around him. He lunges forward, declaring fiercely that she belongs to him, as debris flies around in the turbulent atmosphere. He gazes intensely, holding a dazzling artifact that radiates power as water swirls dramatically around him, enhancing the atmosphere of mystery and strength. Surprised, he leaps into the air, manipulating blue energy around him while she stands ready with her sword, facing the unexpected challenge. He pleads desperately, shouting for them to stop and promising anything, fearing for her safety as tension fills the air. He demands that the man move, threatening destruction if he doesn't cooperate. He insists on answers regarding who hired him, revealing a hidden tension. He tells Ms. Xiao to observe her surroundings, revealing that his silk threads completely surround her, asserting she won't escape them. He coldly instructs her to comply and hand over Bingbing, hinting that doing so might spare her life out of respect for the Liu family. She stands confidently, wielding a glowing sword, ready to prove her theory, as the ominous energy surrounds them. She challenges the energy, questioning if the dead body can withstand her superior sword skills, her determined gaze piercing through the unsettling atmosphere. He struggles to hold back tears, eyes filled with sorrow as emotions overwhelm him, creating a heavy atmosphere that draws the viewer into his pain. He cries out, overwhelmed with grief, lamenting their brief time together while expressing how he never tasted her sweetest essence, feeling lost in the darkness. He gasps, acknowledging that Xiao Mengyu appears even more enticing, expressing doubt about savoring her essence while stating that binding truly embodies the ideal. He yells in frustration, declaring that it doesn't matter anymore as his eyes glow red, revealing a daunting determination to devour them both completely. She notes that threats and the fear of death fail to make this assassin talk, her piercing eyes reflecting a resolute spirit. She brandishes her sword, electric energy crackling around it, as she proposes a deal with a confident expression. She confronts a looming figure, electricity lighting the dark, offering a deal that hints at danger and secrets involving Zhao Yibing in her own life. She confronts a shadowy figure, his red-eyed glare fierce as he declares he could simply kill her and take her dead body, rejecting her offer. She reveals her power, insisting that if he doesn't cooperate, he won't get a pristine corpse, vowing not to involve the Lilos in revenge. Surrounded by swirling red energy, he stands firm, silently aware of the power ready to unleash within him. Surrounded by ominous red energy, he confidently questions her seriousness, ready to harness the immense power building around him. Surrounded by a mystical ambiance, he confidently affirms his decision, while she stands determined with her magical energy ready to unleash. He laughs heartily, realizing the situation is complicated. With a sigh, he contemplates the consequences of betraying his client and the League of Assassins rules. She asks if he is scared, her expression calm yet intense, as beams of light from the stained glass cast an ethereal glow around her. He confidently declares he wouldn't hesitate to make countless sacrifices for her, expressing his thrill at the thought of holding her tightly. He confidently boasts that his sword will cut her to pieces, while she playfully responds, admiring her beauty and expressing gratitude for meeting two perfect works of art. He prepares to reveal his client's name, stating their romance starts now, while carrying her, ready to spend all his time with her, whom he calls his dearest love. He ponders about Xiao Mengyu, realizing she hasn't answered his calls, while questioning if she's in danger from the assassin. He sits pensively at the window, asking Big Skelly about Xiao Mengyu's chances against the Skinner, insisting he wants the truth, not lies. He expresses concern about revealing the truth regarding Xiao Mengyu's fate, while Big Skelly points out the serious threat posed by the Skinner and the wicked Ghost King. He acknowledges the danger Xiao Mengyu faces, while Big Skelly urges him to stop worrying and get some proper sleep. He wanted Mengyu's help to uncover the truth, but now he fears he has endangered her, reflecting on her older brother Chen Haoyu's death and the missing eyewitness. He wondered how many more lives must be lost, realizing she was the only one still fighting with all her strength. He couldn't allow her to perish, staring at his phone as it rang, confusion evident on his face amidst the darkening storm. He received an unknown call and questioned if he was Shen Yi, confirming he was as ominous clouds gathered above. She clutched her phone and mentioned her mom's advice to find him and call the police together, while nervously questioning, "Who is this?" He was on the phone, conveying that his mother, a nurse, had seen him with a supernatural being while confirming she was the eyewitness's daughter. He expressed desperation over the phone, revealing she told him to meet at the Maplewood Hotel, but now he couldn't reach her, urgently urging someone to call the police. He warned someone not to go, mentioning a potential trap, while expressing concern for a girl's mom, insisting he had to verify the situation and asking to hide his bike. He expressed concern about their hiding place being unsafe and wondered if they could ever hide permanently, while holding a sword and contemplating the risks of dying. He assured himself he wouldn't die and realized that, to uncover the truth about the assassins, he must rely solely on himself. He thought the situation was pointless, explaining that manager Qian had locked the entire 105th floor, leaving no way out while a character asked about his actions. He questioned if someone intended to fly a motorcycle out of the building, warning that it would alert everyone. He then decided to reallocate all his stats to agility. He received confirmation that all stats had been reallocated as he requested, showcasing his current agility at 10.1. He stood on the edge, blue hair fluttering, contemplating the jump while the creature warned him of the danger despite his 30 agility. He gazed at the stormy sky, his blue hair slightly tousled, pondering the tasks ahead, feeling the thunder would serve as his ideal cover. As he plummeted from the building, he felt the chilling wind howling around him, stunned by the unexpected turn of events. As he soared through the air, he screamed in terror, realizing that the night rain was about to unleash its fury upon the city below. As he plummeted down, the city lights glimmered below, and his scream echoed, filled with dread, as he faced the impending impact. As he dove through the air, filled with determination, he warned his adversary that if he died, he'd use necromancy to raise him as a mindless zombie. As he clung to the building's side, he noticed a floating door nearby, puzzled by its presence amidst the stormy cityscape. Amidst the chaos, he yelled, "Door!" as he and his friend rushed towards the mysterious entrance, fear and determination etched on their faces. Amidst a stormy sky, he soared upward as a heavy object flew past him, capturing the chaos of the urban scene around. He plummeted downward, thinking that as long as he summoned a door within a safe distance, he could use the nightmare realm as a platform to break his fall. He focused intently, repeating the phrase to maintain his descent, and landed perfectly on the ground with a confident stance after plummeting from the skyscraper. He exclaimed that she was insane, admitting he thought he'd die in this dusty world. While she sarcastically claimed he was impressed by her skills, he insisted they needed to get moving. A rider confidently speeds through the city on a bike, leaving a glowing trail as the night lights flicker around her. He rides confidently, focusing as a message confirms, "Password verified," reflecting the seriousness of his journey, where each step matters. He stops his motorcycle at the west side of the city, determinedly noting to himself that this is the place. He steps into the room, asking if she was the one who called him. She responds eagerly, affirming with a loud yes. She looks around anxiously, clutching her red headphones, and asks if anyone has seen her mom, expressing her concern about not being able to reach her. He assures her he will search for her mom immediately and checks his phone, while she expresses her frustration about no one answering the calls. He stands in a dimly lit street, anxiously checking his phone. The young girl beside him pleads for help, concerned about her mother's disappearance as unanswered calls echo around them. In a shadowy street, he assures the young girl that he will help her find her mom, as she worries about her absent father. He instructs her to head to the Human Martial Arts Group Tower, while she waits with concern as he prepares to depart in just under 6 minutes. She expresses her fear and desire to see her mom, while he reassures her about the safety of the destination he's sending her to. He promises to find her mother, assuring her they will reunite. He instructs her to wait at the Human Martial Arts Group Tower. With tears brimming in her eyes, she softly replies, agreeing to the promise he made. With his hand raised, he questions her choice to search for her mother, to which she confidently affirms her decision with a determined spirit. He expresses frustration about helping her, insisting that the girl isn't at fault and her mother is innocent, while he dismisses softness as a weakness. He questions if she hasn't noticed anything odd about the neighborhood, and she admits feeling that something is off. He remarks that she was too focused on the little girl to notice her surroundings, expressing that he hasn't sensed any life force since entering the street. He realizes there's not a single living being in the entire block, feeling an eerie quietness enveloping him. As he stands before the Maplewood Hotel, he feels the intense sounds of fighting and decides he can't wait any longer. He rushes toward the Maplewood Hotel, urging Big Skelly to watch his back and warn him to run if anything goes wrong. He strides confidently through the grand interior of the Maplewood Hotel, light streaming through the opulent windows, ready to face whatever awaits him. She greets him warmly, asking about his reservation, while a companion warns him cautiously about a dead person nearby, leaving him surprised. He runs frantically, questioning how someone died yet remains present, surrounded by the ominous whispers of shadows. She explains that Master killed them all to make his living space more aesthetically pleasing, using special threads to bind their bodies and control their souls. She asks why he isn't attacking her, explaining that they're instructed to serve guests while Master is occupied battling a powerful enemy. She questions how many others have died, asserting it was everyone, while he demands clarification on what she means by everyone. She grins with eerie delight, claiming that everyone in the entire block is dead, while he reacts with shock and disbelief. He stands in shock as she, with a sinister grin, declares that they must find room 707 now, as the fight has moved to the roof. He sprints forward, determined, as she strides ahead with a confident air, both aware of the stakes escalating in their intense pursuit. He discovers something significant, exclaiming, "Found it," as he dashes forward, filled with urgency and determination, ready to confront whatever is ahead. He gazes ahead with wide, fearful eyes, filled with uncertainty and dread about what is to come. He stares in horror at the grisly scene, questioning how there could be so many bodies amid the chaos and blood. He senses the despair in the room, questioning if anyone recognizes him and if any survivors remain, feeling overwhelmed by the horror of their situation. He stands, bewildered and terrified, stating he doesn't know anyone, while feeling the weight of despair with bodies around him, each with glowing green eyes, whispering that no one survived. He gasps, realizing the figure before him is Shen Yi, confusion mixing with recognition in his blue eyes. He stares in shock, realizing she saw him encounter the ghost while her bloodied figure lies in the shadows, glowing green eyes haunting him. He apologizes for her death, but she reassures him that it no longer matters, suggesting a willingness to continue despite their grim situation. With tears streaming down her face, she pleads for vengeance, her eyes glowing with a haunting green light, urging him to act. With a determined expression, he promises to take revenge and assures her that he will protect her daughter, urging her to rest easy and trust him. With a shocked expression, she stares ahead, her eyes glowing green amidst the blood, whispering the word, "Daughter," in disbelief. With eerie green eyes glowing, she lies in a pool of blood, and he realizes the voice that called him came from her. Amidst the chaos of falling debris, he stands horrified as a massive explosion erupts, sending shockwaves through the surrounding landscape, leaving destruction in its wake. He looks around in shock, confused by the chaos, and realizes the building is under attack, noting the explosion's direction. He shouts in anger, demanding to know who dares to intervene, while sensing a weak presence upstairs that is about to fall toward him. He realizes the roar he just heard was a man's voice and suspects the one about to fall must be significant as he struggles through the chaos. He clutches Xiao Mengyu tightly, ready to protect her as chaos erupts around them, the tension palpable in the air. Surprised, she questions his presence, confusion clear on her face as sweat trickles down her brow, the tension intensifying around them. He declares a long story, stating he's there to save her. She retorts, calling him an idiot for coming to help with his weak power. She sighs, expressing frustration over her efforts to mask her aura while facing an unexpected challenge, noting her backup plan as a precaution. She contemplates her situation, starting with, well, seeing as, revealing her uncertain thoughts as she gazes forward. She stares in shock as a glowing pink energy swirls around her hand, revealing her surprise and the intensity of the moment. As the energy swirls around her hand, she looks up at him with surprise, and he apologizes, saying all stats have been reallocated to strength at 8.3. He leaps with a sword, exclaiming that he doesn't want her to discover his secret, as a glowing door opens beneath him. He walks through a smoky scene, his glowing red eyes revealing his surprise as he wonders where she has disappeared. He smirks, enjoying the game of hide and seek, relishing the thrill of the chase as his red eyes glimmer mischievously. He walks confidently through the hotel, announcing a game with a playful thrill as he counts down, the atmosphere charged with tension. He calls out to Big Skelly, insisting he's a battlefield acquisition officer and not a scavenger, while complaining about the difficulty of gathering decent armor from the junk. He carries a girl in a sleek bunny battlesuit, showcasing her agility, while he struggles with his own equipment. He remarks that this is the only thing he could find to fit a woman, while questioning how it ended up on a battlefield. Another character warns others to consider why such items are found, revealing he took it from a corpse. Amidst the chaos, a man cries out for help, while another urges that a woman is dying, creating a tense atmosphere within the tent. Excitement erupts as he recognizes the boy who survived, while another comments that the title is becoming increasingly difficult to escape. As they lay the injured woman on the cot, someone exclaims that even in pain, she exudes a fierce aura. Another notes the need for rare divine herbs to heal her. He shouted that he had money and pleaded for her to be healed, holding a pouch and wondering if it was enough, as he recalled the prince's gift. He questioned if it was the tuition money the prince had given, while the other man asked how he knew. He held up his coin pouch, noting that it bore the royal insignia, a symbol of royalty, and commented that it was worth a small fortune. He urged them to take everything and rushed to heal her, expressing worry that she couldn't endure much longer. Determined, the group agreed to give their all, as green energy swirled around them, reflecting their resolve and unity. Excited, he realized how many people were helping her, thinking that humans could indeed be surprisingly dependable. Reflecting on the battlefield, he recognized its unpredictability. His absence had diminished his honor, yet he had swiftly returned, saving a comrade and sacrificing his own future for her life. He explained that every royal gold coin she spent equated to 100 ordinary ones, indicating the vast expense incurred to save one girl. He stood confidently, reflecting on his noble generosity as someone congratulated him, saying he'd become famous again. He sweat profusely, panicking as he realized the weight of his actions, wondering, what have I done? The caption proclaimed, the boy who lived. He smiled joyfully, exclaiming that the healing was complete, celebrating the boy who lived, as friends around him shared in the uplifting moment. He asked about her condition with concern, and the joyous response revealed they used top healing magic, assuring she would wake soon. He felt her life force blazing and acknowledged the power of human healing magic. Grateful for help, he called her ready to wake up soon. He realized he needed to return to the main world before she woke up, while his friends joked about the value of gold and relationships. He sighed in exasperation, noticing her awakening, then smiled and remarked that she was finally awake. With a fierce expression, she pointed her sword at him, demanding to know what he had just done. With a confident smile, he explained that the healing technique works only when the patient is unconscious, hinting at his medical knowledge. Surprised, she looked at her healed hands, realizing her wounds had completely vanished. She admitted her mistake, apologizing for the sudden attack, while he wondered if he could still fight against the approaching enemy. He expressed his determination to defeat the enemy while she marveled at her incredible healing technique, feeling stronger than ever. The title, Great Swordsman, Holy Guardian, gleamed in the background. He questioned what being a Holy Guardian meant while wondering if the healing session granted her a special power. He reminded her to note the mastermind's name while she confidently replied that she already had it, leading to his surprised question about the identity. He triumphantly declared that he had found her, while she looked intensely, startled by the unexpected encounter in the dimly lit, grand space. He smirked, finding Shen Yi a pleasant surprise, as dark, swirling shadows enveloped the space around them. He advised Shen Yi to run and hide unless he had serious combat skills, while she realized she had underestimated him, questioning his hidden abilities. He agreed that with such a big battle happening, he needed to find safety, waving goodbye to Xiao Mengyu and wishing her good luck. He reflected on his healing talent, feeling lonely, while Xiao Mengyu, amidst the chaos, questioned if he had been waiting for her all along. In the dim light, she wielded her weapon skillfully, ready to strike, while he narrowly evaded, tension crackling between them. With a fierce determination, she unleashed a powerful attack, shattering the ground beneath her, declaring that she was beyond her peak. Despite his injuries and blood on his face, he remained confident, assuring that he was certain about the severity of the damage. With a shocked expression, he thought about the unexpected dodge, wondering how it was possible. She realized it was Shen Yi, recalling how he had destroyed half the building with his strength, while others had failed to harm him. He grinned confidently, claiming nothing could captivate him more than Meng Yu, expressing overwhelming excitement about the wounds she had gifted him. He extended his hands, urging to continue their passionate embrace, surrounded by a smoky atmosphere, his red eyes glowing with intensity. Beneath a night sky dotted with stars, the tents stand silent, surrounded by barren trees, hinting at a once bustling camp now left in solitude. The group discusses how the prince seems fond of a certain boy, generously providing a mountain of royal gold. One member questions the shady circumstances surrounding this generosity. He reassured his companion about slipping extra gold back into her battlesuit while explaining that he kept 11 coins for their efforts, adding he also gave a strength blessing for her friend. He asked what was wrong with a worried expression, while shocked men around him yelled in surprise. He shared that he granted his friend an agility blessing, while another mentioned a resonance blessing, and a third spoke of a perception blessing, expressing enthusiasm over giving a spirit blessing. He expressed disbelief, asking if she truly received all the blessings, while another explained that when all blessings combine in one person, they create the ultimate amplification spell. He heard about the Holy Guardian spell that amplifies all blessings for 3 hours, while another man, intrigued, listened intently. One man warns the others that using the spell is only for royalty. Without permission, it could lead to serious consequences. A man from the Sacred Medical Corps reminds others that it's rare to gather for a major war, urging them to view their help as friendship toward the boy who lived. With fierce determination, she slashes through the air, her sword glimmering amidst a shower of sparks and red streaks, showing her skill in battle. With fierce resolve, she leaps into action, her sword igniting trails of red sparks as she skillfully battles through the chaos. Amidst the swirling chaos, he charges with terrifying power, while she wonders how he is becoming stronger, believing the resistance might be linked to his power boost. With determination, she swings her sword, eyes sharp with focus, while shards of debris fly around her, indicating the intensity of the battle. With urgency, she signals to the source of the threat, while chaotic lines of energy surge around her in the dimly lit room. With a frightened expression, she stares at the wall filled with angry, distorted faces, their terrifying screams echoing through her mind, instilling a deep sense of dread. With a menacing glare, she confronts the bloody chaos surrounding her, haunted by whispers of madness and despair that claw at her sanity. With a smirk, he stands against the wall, surrounded by ominous, red whispers as he reveals, "Oops, you found the present I prepared for you." With tears of blood streaming down his face, he grins and tells her to listen, claiming that they are singing for them. With a pained expression, he stands surrounded by a sea of dark figures, holding a device while declaring this moment their wedding hymn amidst swirling red roses. Surrounded by haunting faces wreathed in blood, he contemplates the overwhelming sorrow of Bloodfiend's eternal curse, with shadows swirling around a crimson heart. He steps forward, with a sense of urgency, as a voice encourages him, saying he's finally getting it and they need to leave the building for safety. He runs frantically as his companion shouts that they are just one step away from the truth, while another is confused about their escape plan. He urges his companion to look around as the corpses chant incantations, realizing they must find a way to help Xiao Mengyu, while a worried voice warns him to run. A tense atmosphere fills the hallway as he admits that jumping in would be dangerous, while his companion questions his earlier actions amidst the chaos of the fallen. He triumphantly exclaims that he has found it, his arms spread wide in excitement as he stands in the shadowy room. He looks around the dimly lit room, questioning what is so special about the spot as he gazes at the empty chairs and equipment. He smirks with excitement, urging his friend to test his powers, while another character nervously pleads not to hear what's coming next. In a haunting scene, terrified faces scream in anguish, their bloodied features illuminated by dark, red splashes while fear grips them tightly. He held his phone tightly, asking Mengyu to let him use his threads, as shadows of tortured faces loomed behind him, consumed by despair. With determination, she wielded her sword amidst swirling red threads, proclaiming her intent to weave a wedding gown of his very own. With fierce resolve, he swung his sword, causing vibrant red threads to scatter around him, signifying his powerful intent. With a look of shock, she realized her sword was tangled in vibrant red threads, highlighting the chaos around her. Surprised, she watched as he knelt, a wedding ring in hand, while red threads swirled around them, reflecting the tension of the moment. With a fierce grip, he swung his sword, unleashing a powerful blast of blue energy and red threads in an explosive surge. With determination, he lunged forward, sword drawn, releasing a fierce blue energy as red threads swirled around him. He pondered the hidden sword within the first, while she smirked, declaring it was too bad. He focused intensely, feeling the power of the endless bloodfiend curses surge through him as he declared his invincibility. He smirked, feeling the intense power from the bloodfiend curses, relishing the struggle as he declared the sweet reward of victory was already secured. She confidently declared that victory wasn't guaranteed, standing in a dark, dramatic setting, sword poised, the atmosphere thick with tension and anticipation. She gripped her sword tightly, surrounded by crackling energy, showcasing her determination and strength as she prepared for battle. She summoned a powerful aura, her sword glinting as she readied herself for battle in a swirl of blue and orange energy. With a smirk of satisfaction, he exclaimed that this experience was something extraordinary, his intense red eyes gleaming in the dark atmosphere. He expressed surprise at her mastery of a legendary sword technique, recognizing her worthiness, while she lamented that he didn't possess that divine blade. He reflected on the cruel twist of fate, surrounded by swirling energies, while firmly declaring his intention for revenge, urging the other to go to hell. He grinned fiercely, excitement surging as he clashed with a powerful force, energized by swirling blue and gold flames, eagerly inviting the opponent to engage. He summoned the great bloodthirsty twin-headed serpent demon, offering countless sacrifices in blood, commanding, "Answer my call." The atmosphere crackled with dark energy. She exclaimed Mungyu's name, her expression tense as blood splashed around her, heightening the ominous atmosphere. As darkness surged, he declared that she would sleep eternally in his embrace, while the ominous figure loomed with glowing red eyes. Feeling a surge of dread, she realized he was invoking a monster, as the dark figure with glowing red eyes towered ominously over them. Realizing the dire situation, she felt the urgency. There was no time to evade as chaos and blood surrounded her. Excitedly, he raised his microphone, addressing the audience with enthusiasm, asking how everyone was enjoying the night. Surprised, he gazed intensely, while she reacted with shock, both caught in a tense moment of realization, their expressions revealing the weight of unspoken truths. With glowing green eyes and anguished faces, they screamed in unison, demanding a response. If anyone could hear them, they wanted to be answered loud and clear. With glowing eyes and a tormented expression, he cried out in agony, feeling overwhelming pain and despair as shadows surrounded him, embodying the victory of the dark. In a terrifying scene, he pleaded for help as a monstrous shadow with glowing red eyes loomed menacingly, its gaping mouth ready to strike. He reacted with shock, realizing his blood-fiend curse had been interrupted, as crimson energy swirled around him ominously. She lunged forward, her purple hair flowing as she brandished an object, while he looked on in surprise, feeling the tension in the air. She charged forward, her purple hair swirling as she unleashed a powerful strike, igniting the air with electric energy. He staggered backward, electric energy crackling around him, as a violent wound erupted from his chest, leaving him gasping in agony. She declared that it was finished, as a crackling energy surrounded her while blood spattered in the dark, drawing a stark contrast to her calm demeanor. She laughed ominously, declaring that he was mistaken, as her vivid purple hair shimmered with a mysterious energy in the dark. He asserted defiantly that the attacker couldn't kill him, while dark, swirling shadows enveloped him, adding to the tension of the moment. She expressed frustration, realizing her strongest attack had failed, as bloodied faces in the background heightened the horror of the situation. As the horror unfolded, he cursed, realizing the corpses had begun chanting once more, heightening the dreadful atmosphere. He noted the interruption by some punk but urged to continue, as a shadowy figure loomed ominously in the red mist behind him. He excitedly addressed his dearly departed friends, asking if they knew how to sing "Happy Birthday," urging everyone to join in the song. He confidently asked if everyone would join him in singing "Happy Birthday," urging them to let go of their worries and count down to sing together. He exclaimed in shock, recognizing the chaos around him while mixed voices sang "Happy Birthday," amidst swirling dark shadows, blending trouble with a celebration. She playfully sang "Happy Birthday to you," a mischievous grin lighting her face as eerie shadows with glowing eyes loomed behind her. In a dark, stormy backdrop, he cheerfully sang about hope and love on his birthday, while the looming mansion added an eerie aura to the celebration. With blood-red eyes and fury on his face, he screamed, "Damn you, Shen Yi. I'll fucking kill you." Rage consumed him in the dimly lit scene. With shards flying around him, he leapt into the air, his intense aura radiating as he prepared for a powerful attack. With determination etched on her face, she realized he's targeting Shen Yi, unleashing a flurry of destructive shards around him. With fear in his eyes, he warned that someone was approaching, sensing it must be the Skinner. He reminisced about his deceased friends, asking if they remembered their favorite songs, urging them to sing one after another without stopping. He felt a mix of excitement and disbelief, claiming it was his first experience like this, exclaiming about divine power and the unique colors of his art. David felt a surge of urgency, exclaiming about the importance of the task while urging his friend to hurry and not forget the bun. With intense eyes glowing red, he declared he had found Shen Yi, revealing a menacing determination. With lightning strikes illuminating their path, he complimented her speed, urging her to escape while he confronted the danger. With a fierce glare and glowing red eyes, he threatened the kid, stating that if he ran, he would harm his parents. She urged him to ignore the threat and run, while he coldly vowed to harm their entire family. He declared his violent intentions, promising to eat them before her eyes and skin them alive, showing his fierce determination and anger. He paced anxiously, contemplating his next move, uncertainty consuming him as he thought, "What should I do? What should I do?" He stood with a troubled expression, recalling a warning: he shouldn't engage in combat without skills, or he risked getting killed. He paused with a contemplative look, acknowledging the truth in the statement, feeling the weight of the moment as he whispered, "You're right." He asked if she could defeat the Skinner, boasting that he could easily crush him with one hand. He stated that it was irrelevant now, feeling too injured to fight, and that they needed to figure out how to escape. He was pleased she joined them and asked about another issue, while questioning her current activities with curiosity. He held a glowing object, contemplating their contract, while she interrogated him, asking what he was implying about making a deal. He held a glowing device, urging her to restore his power in exchange for helping him defeat an adversary. She expressed confusion about his request. Back at the battlefield near the secret tunnel, he recalled her mentioning undead healing methods. He explained a ritual involving an altar to drain souls for recovery, asserting that he could be back to his prime quickly. A floating skull glows ominously with green eyes. He stammers in disbelief, realizing that a plan involves the dead people in the hotel. He wonders if the trapped souls could restore his power, realizing the Skinner's magic keeps them perfect for extraction, but feels powerless to chant. He resolves to find a way. He knows the whole ritual takes time. Once the guy notices, he'll go wild trying to stop them. He resolves to try and buy some time. He feels anxious as he faces the looming threat, considering the deal to avoid being turned into a minion, hoping to buy himself some time. Shen Yi contemplates the precarious agreement with Fern, who promises support in return for his body and soul, emphasizing the serious binding nature of their deal. Shen Yi holds a device, prepared to record Fern's incantation, expressing concern about using a lifeless, mechanical style instead of the traditional method. Shen Yi reassures Fern, expressing that using a recording is the safest option despite Fern's frustrations over being in a weak state. Holding a glowing ring, he hears a beeping sound from his phone, which displays a timer counting down from 3 minutes and 28 seconds. He stands determined, ready for the challenge, as the mysterious figure instructs him to showcase his skills and reallocate all stat points to agility. He leaps into action, having reallocated all his stat points to agility, while a voice commands attention to settle down for a listening comprehension exercise. He runs down the hallway, urging everyone to listen carefully and repeat after him, ensuring no one misses a single word. In a dark setting, characters mournfully chant about forming an altar, invoking shadows deep within the underworld, their eyes glowing in eerie green. In a shadowy realm, he rushes forward while she watches anxiously, seeking the mercy of the Dark Mother of Bones and the Ghoul King. He passionately requests to be empowered to spread the Dark Mother's influence, while instructing everyone to recite together on cue. He activated the ritual, calling to the shadows of the underworld, urging his followers, filled with energy, to form the altar with their skeletal spirits. He was shocked to discover an incantation being used, realizing that a young person was controlling the corpses, and he felt an urgent need to eliminate him immediately. He was relieved to see the soulfire ignited, knowing they must wait until the incantation finished. With urgency, he warned to evade the Skinner. He urged his companion to navigate through the veil of life and death, promising to follow the ghosts to the roof where the soulfire converged for the grand feast of souls. He yelled at an unseen threat, expressing anger and urgency as he realized danger had arrived, while a shadowy figure loomed ominously behind him. He confronted a lurking threat, declaring that they would become one with the endless bone throne, while he angrily warned his opponent they're not escaping. She fiercely attacked, spinning with her weapon, unleashing a powerful aura that shattered the wall behind her, showcasing her strength and determination. He charged forward, a fierce red aura surrounding him, as lightning radiated from his fingers, shattering the ground beneath him with intense energy. He charged onward, an intense red aura enveloping him, as lightning crackled from his body, striking his opponent who soared above with a determined look. With a fierce expression, he struggled, exclaiming in pain, while she noted his focus on defeating Shen Yi, ignoring her attempts to evade. He propelled himself forward with fierce determination, using the momentum of the strike to close the distance on his opponent, who was stained by red. He called upon the mercy of the Most High while his opponent, stained in red, asserted that there was nowhere to run. He realized his opponent was using the momentum of his attack to close the distance faster, adrenaline coursing through him as he tried to escape. Realizing he was cornered, he pushed against the ornate doors, his heart racing, while his formidable opponent declared he had nowhere to escape. With a swift motion, he evaded the attack, feeling the rush of energy surround him as he prepared for his next move, determination shining in his eyes. He furrowed his brow in frustration, searching the space filled with ghostly wisps, anger bubbling as he shouted, demanding to know where the brat was hiding this time. He stared in terror, recognizing the dark figures of the Dark Mother of Bones and the Ghoul King, fear coursing through him. He called out for Miklantakudli, the Lord of Miklan, seeking empowerment, as mythological shadows swirled ominously around him. She confidently brandished her sword, promising her ally he could rely on her as they faced the lurking shadows together in the eerie, dimly lit space. She demanded to know when he arrived, while he threatened to tear her apart limb from limb, his dark aura radiating menacingly in the dim space. He vowed to spread their majesty to all living beings, as a dark shadow loomed ominously against the backdrop of black, radiating an unsettling energy. Determined, he exclaimed that he now needed the lost souls to willingly pour their power into him to regain his strength, surrounded by eerie, swirling energy. He shouted passionately that it was time for revenge, asking everyone to lend him their strength for one last chance. He called out fervently for the spirits of the dead to respond to his summons, eager to collaborate with them. He warned Shen Yi to be cautious, panic evident in his expression as the atmosphere around them darkened ominously. As he unleashed a torrent of power, he realized the other had completely lost control, driven by a singular aim, to kill. With intense anger in his eyes, he screamed at his opponent, urging them to die, as a powerful aura radiated from him. With a fierce shout of Shen Yi, he lunged forward, blood splattering in a dramatic display as he launched his attack. With a shocked expression, he realized it was an illusion as he slashed through the purple mist, blood staining his clothes. With determination, he calls forth lost souls while another figure, surprised, questions when he had time for this. A third character urges them to collaborate. With fierce determination, he shouts his intent to eliminate the enemy, his blue eyes burning with intensity and anger. With glowing green eyes filled with fury, he yells for revenge, sharing the sentiment with another tortured figure, as blood stains their faces. With swirling magic surrounding him, he is consumed by thoughts of revenge, echoing repeatedly in his mind. Surrounded by swirling magic, he is engulfed in dark energy, his single-minded obsession with revenge roaring in his heart. With determination in his eyes, he faces the shadowy figure, who mockingly laughs, asking if he believes he can kill him. With fierce determination, he raises the sword, sending shimmering green energy swirling around him, as the blade descends toward the target with deadly intent. With a surprised expression, he questions what just happened as dust and debris swirl around him, hinting at an unexpected impact. He coughs weakly, explaining that he wasn't trying to make her laugh, as a massive sword looms ominously above him amid the swirling dust. He looms menacingly, vowing to kill, declaring that waiting even a moment longer would be a disservice. He raises his massive sword amidst the pouring rain, declaring this is the moment they must die, while his enemy cries out in despair. Amidst a torrential downpour, he confronts someone, declaring it's right in front of those they have killed, his expression a mix of determination and anguish. Lying amidst the chaos, he gasps, realizing the impending doom, while he questions if summoning a calamity is possible, his bloodied face betraying terror. As rain pours down, he realizes the enormous calamity before him, recognizing it as the opponent's ultimate weapon, his voice filled with awe. As rain falls heavily, he urges his ally with a determined expression to complete the fight, his voice carrying a sense of urgency. Amidst heavy rain, a glowing skeletal figure raises a shimmering sword high, while a determined warrior stands ready, exuding confidence in the face of danger. In a stormy landscape, a fallen figure lies on cracked ground, entangled in ominous red threads, conveying a sense of defeat and urgency. In a dark, stormy atmosphere, a fearsome skeleton wields a glowing sword while red threads connect it to an unseen force, heightening tension and mystery. In a dark setting, a menacing skeleton with glowing eyes mocks, wondering if the red threads are the source of the power someone boasts about. In a dramatic scene, a powerful skeleton with glowing eyes declares someone pathetic, while wielding a sword amidst swirling energy and red threads. In a tense moment, he lies on the ground, bloodied and shocked, pondering what has just occurred amidst the chaotic scene around him. In a dark and ominous atmosphere, a skull speaks menacingly, claiming he doesn't need to exert effort to handle an insignificant opponent. A skull, surrounded by swirling energy, declares that countless lost souls have suffered, and now it is time to break their shackles. A skeletal figure, wielding a sword, vows to set the souls free, surrounded by vibrant green energy and breaking chains. Amidst pouring rain, a glowing Ankh symbol rises from the ground, signifying the resurrection of the dead, while an eerie mansion looms in the background. In the dim light, terrified figures lie sprawled, their eyes glowing with a haunting light, reflecting the chaos of their surroundings as desperation fills the air. In the pouring rain, a skeletal figure looms ominously, holding a sword as a character declares that it is time for vengeance against the spirits. Frantically, he realizes he can't control the spirits and cries out in despair, accusing someone of stripping him of his magic, while blood drips from his wounds. In anguish, he lies on the ground, bloodied and desperate, his red eyes burning with fury as he screams in frustration. In dynamic motion, he leaps acrobatically, red energy trailing from his hand, while onlookers below watch in awe and anticipation. With a fierce gaze and flames swirling around him, he taunts, questioning if the opponent is trying to escape, intensifying the tension of the confrontation. Unleashing a powerful blast of flames, he hurls himself into the air, challenging the skeletal figure with fierce determination, while rain pours down around them. He gasps in shock, feeling the surge of energy throughout his body, realizing something powerful is happening to him. He warns Flay about a minor soul-suppressing spell, noting a discord between her soul and body, which may hinder her ability to escape unharmed. He reflects that they all desire her warm, living flesh, as flashes of lightning illuminate the eerie crowd surrounding him. He hears that people believe killing the perpetrator ends the hatred, but they fail to see the tide of vengeance never truly fades, and the dead will rise, dragging him into the abyss. In a stormy night, he shouts in despair, "No," as he watches the chaos engulfing everything around him, surrounded by terrified companions. In fear, he cries out for help, pleading to the great gods not to let him die, declaring he would sacrifice everything he has. He stands in shock, eyes wide in terror as dark figures loom, surrounded by a crowd lost in chaos. He feels the crushing darkness surround him, as ominous swirls pull him deeper into a nightmare, swallowed by chaos and fear. In despair, he thanks the great being, pleading for it to descend and take everything he has, overwhelmed by dark tendrils closing in. In desperation, he confronts the great being, asking, "Why do you reject me?" as dark tendrils encircle him, revealing his skeletal form. She urgently warns them that he is casting a spell and instructs to quickly immobilize him, as ominous energy swirls around. He shouts to take down the skeleton with the blade, while a figure, fueled by anger, cries out for vengeance unexpectedly. Chen Yi, watch out! A furious figure, bearing anger-filled eyes, declares that even in Lord Divinity's absence, his shadow continues to offer protection. A fierce figure leaps into the air, wielding a sword with determination, fiercely yelling, "Die!" as flames engulf an enemy below. He mocked the enemy, calling them a fool for falling for the same trick again, as another clone emerged from the shadows. He shouted to his opponent, "Take this." As he readied his weapon, determined in the pouring rain, he staggered back, bloodied and exhausted, as he groaned in pain amidst the chaos of the aggressive, rain-soaked crowd. He stood drenched in rain, startled as he faced a massive skeleton, gripping his sword tightly, speechless with fear. He felt uneasy holding the gun, admitting he missed. He urged Fern to use a flame attack to finish their opponent in one blow. Feeling determined, he pointed at the ancient weapon, ready to face the looming storm while the ominous characters hovered above. Amidst swirling energy, he unleashed a furious scream, echoing his rage as electric sparks filled the dark atmosphere around him. Amidst the intense storm, he warned her to watch out as electrifying energy surged around him, illuminating the dark space with his rising fury. In a dramatic moment, she pondered what just occurred as the massive skeletal figure, titled Bone Embrace, towered ominously, its sword glowing with dark energy. As raindrops fell, he revealed that the moment Skinner perished, a dark force emerged from him, and warned her that an unknown entity had attempted to ambush. She shouted for attention, pointing at the ominous figure looming before her, its eerie glow cutting through the rain-soaked darkness. She found herself surrounded by shadowy figures, all staring intently as the darkness swirled around her, enveloping her in an unsettling embrace. Shadowy figures were attempting to seize Skinner's body as chaos erupted around him, shards of glass reflecting the intense struggle. A figure with purple hair defies the darkness below, proclaiming, "Not so fast." Shards of glass and shadows create an intense, chaotic atmosphere around them. He shouted for Xiao Mengyu to wait while feeling frustrated about not pursuing the others, as a powerful figure hovered amidst shards and shadows. He rushed at full speed while carrying her, warning that if he left, the looming threat might return to kill her. He pondered what shadow had blasted open the building. He urged her to wait, realizing that the one who helped the Skinner couldn't be responsible for the explosion, as they were assisting Xiao Mengyu. Panicked, he stammered, urging her not to say anything, realizing there was someone else in the shadowy, rain-soaked scene. Panicking, he reassured himself that the mysterious ally aiding Xiao Mengyu posed no threat, contemplating the idea of asking over the intercom. As rain poured down, he urged the hidden ally who had just assisted them to reveal themselves, standing resolutely before the skeletal figure. As he noticed the giant skeletal figure looming, he remarked that it seemed they didn't want to be seen. As he gazed out the window, rain pouring heavily, his expression reflected shock and urgency, hinting that something unexpected was about to unfold. As heavy rain fell, he looked out the window with alarm, recalling Ghostfire's words about the little girl and the mission's failure, feeling a wave of urgency. As rain poured heavily, he questioned what happened, recalling the target had left halfway and vanished, unaware of her current whereabouts. As rain fell in torrents, he exclaimed in surprise about the motorcycle's speed, noting her extraordinary escape. He recalled a warning about helping strangers, relieved she hadn't attacked. As rain poured heavily, he received a notification from Xiao Mengyu, revealing a message about uncovering the truth from the Shiner and sharing a video link. As the rain continued to pour, he stared at his phone in shock, realizing something significant was happening. In the golden sunset, she stood by the water, looking over the grand buildings, while two figures in suits observed her from behind. As she gazed at the scenic view, someone curiously asked Song Qingyun about the type of boyfriend she wished for in the future, prompting her to contemplate. As she admired the breathtaking view, someone urged Song Qingyun to consider what kind of boyfriend she wanted, reminding her that many young talents were interested in her. With a contemplative expression, she lingered lost in thought, her hair softly framing her face, as the moment of silence spoke volumes. Reflecting on her childhood, she recalled a New Year's visit to the Shen family's house, where her protector, Shen, bravely shielded her and her sister from a fierce dog. Reflecting on her thoughts, she considered, if seeking a boyfriend, she'd hope for someone like him, glancing back with a hopeful expression. As he gazed down, confusion filled him as he wondered who Shen Yi was. He had the information and remarked that the kid seemed average, believing there was no chance they would meet again, questioning if she truly understood Song Dingyan's feelings. He instructed someone to handle the situation, declaring he didn't want Shen Yi near his precious Qingyun. Someone reassured another, indicating the situation was trivial, while expressing they wouldn't have to intervene personally. A group of characters discussed a plan, suggesting they could easily arrange an accident for someone, claiming it was merely a financial matter. One character suggested sending someone to play with him, indicating a deceptive plan ahead. He decided it was time to teach someone a lesson while holding his phone, rain pouring down all around him. He looked at his phone in the pouring rain, wondering if he should play. He pondered the absurdity of his reality, considering the countless scenarios he had lived through, thinking someone was targeting the Shen family or manipulating events from within. He stared intently as a young man in front of him thanked him, while shadowy figures with glowing eyes loomed ominously behind. Grateful for his help, a young man thanked him for avenging their deaths, while shadowy figures murmured about their defeat by a powerful enemy. As rain poured down, faces filled with despair questioned why the monster had taken their lives, seeking answers amidst their haunting pain. With rain pouring down, he felt a mix of fear and determination, struggling to utter the words, "I." His blue eyes reflected deep emotional turmoil. With rain cascading around him, he felt the weight of guilt as he spoke quietly, wishing everyone could find peace in another world. He urged her not to worry and to let go of everything, vowing that once he grew stronger, he would uncover the truth and take revenge. He stood in the rain, vowing to make it happen, his determination palpable amidst the shadows of the towering structure. He felt vulnerable, regretting not being able to keep up with Xiao Mengyu and forcing Big Skelly to stay back for his protection amid the shadows. He reached out, his blood-stained hand trembling, as he anxiously grasped his friend's shoulder amidst the rain and crowd of ominous figures with glowing eyes. He stood in the rain, trembling, as the figure whispered gratitude for the revenge, urging him to live a good life. He looked relieved, stating that now the demon is dead, they can finally rest, as shadowy figures with blood on their faces surrounded him. Surrounded by shadowy figures, he feels their support as they wish him a long life and strength to confront the mastermind, expressing gratitude with a heavy heart. In the rain, he and others, faces stained and solemn, express deep gratitude, their eyes reflecting an unspoken bond of loyalty and hope for the future. In the downpour, he expresses heartfelt gratitude, aware that the spell binding the fallen has shattered, leading them back to the underworld. In the pouring rain, she leaps gracefully, while he stands drenched, reflecting on the heavy losses as their bond grows stronger. He questioned her about the mysterious black shadow, while she responded, acknowledging its unfathomable, inhuman power, her eyes glistening with determination. She suspected it was linked to the calamities, warning that angering it could prove disastrous. The power of a calamity could easily annihilate a city. He emphasized that the area surrounding her companion resembled a battlefield, hinting at the devastation ahead. The Holy Guardian, with a determined gaze, acknowledged Shen Yi's insights, expressing gratitude for the newfound strength and a promise to find a safe place to train and grow. The Holy Guardian, with a hopeful smile, spoke about wishing for her to break through, while he expressed confusion over the video she sent, asking for further explanation. With a worried expression, he mentioned he had figured out some details, but found the situation overly complicated for them to get involved in. With rain pouring down, he wore a concerned expression, questioning who the unfamiliar people might be. In a somber room, a woman warns him to leave quickly, assuring him she won't disclose his presence, while he questions who the unfamiliar figures are. In the rain, a solemn girl in a white robe reflects on her findings, explaining that they are descendants of noble families, but she couldn't investigate further. In the rain, he questions her about noble families, assuming her background, feeling the weight of the stormy day as his breath fogs the glass. In the pouring rain, she confronts him about their noble families' hierarchies, pondering justice for the dead and seeking resolution amidst chaos. In the rain, she insists that they will face punishment, while the other character, surprised, questions the meaning of punishment. In the pouring rain, she expresses that a light punishment won't suffice and suggests compensation for her family. In the relentless rain, he protests angrily, revealing that they didn't just fail to kill him but also murdered his brother, suggesting they will stop at nothing to eliminate any future threats. In the pouring rain, he reflects on the cost of seeking the truth, mentioning powerful families and the obsession with Song Qingyun. He expresses his helplessness and reflects on their encounter with a ruthless assassin, noting that they were fortunate to escape a fate worse than death. She stands amid the fallen hit squad, expressing hope that their demise will bring peace to her brother's soul, while reminding another to take care of themselves. He asks if one would use the power to kill every last family scion, questioning the moral implications of such an action. She stands silently, drenched, with a sword embedded in her back, surrounded by chaos, contemplating the heavy toll of her choices. She stands in the rain, contemplating how powerful families form the foundation of civilization, feeling that even if she tried, her own house would crumble. He, drenched in rain and frustration, demands clarification, asking if she is truly okay with the situation, while a crowd looms ominously nearby. He laments the tragic losses, mourning friends and family, questioning how such brutality can be justified as just a little lesson. She stands in the rain, shocked and hurt, questioning if everything was just a game to someone. He stands in the rain, furious and determined, yelling that he can't accept the idea of human lives being toys and vows to confront them. A massive, glowing blue spear pierces the dark sky, emanating electricity, while rain cascades down, striking the chaotic city below. Amidst the pouring rain, she wields her glowing sword with determination as the crumbling rocks cascade around her, reflecting her resolve to conquer the chaos. Drenched in rain, he glances at the skeleton, expressing frustration that his actions frightened the girl into tears. Drenched in rain, he tells the other that it's over and they should head back, while questioning his plan for dealing with the situation ahead. Drenched and tired, he reflects on past misunderstandings, insisting he can't accept them, while contemplating life's fleeting happiness. Drenched in rain, he doubts the words spoken, feeling the weight of human struggles, as the skeleton reminds him that the pursuit of happiness demands effort. He smirks, declaring that if they want to play, he's ready. He's driven by vengeance and a personal tribute to lost souls, seeking joy in his quest. He laughs, convinced now, as the ghostly figure beside him urges, telling him to return to the ring since something their size attracts too much attention. He raises his hand in acknowledgement, speaking to an unseen ally, expressing gratitude for their help despite not wanting to reveal themselves. He stands barefoot on the edge, gazing down at the rain-soaked streets below, contemplating the dark scene with a sense of foreboding. She sits high on a wet ledge, blowing a bubble, reflecting sadly that Shen Yi has all grown up now. She stands atop a tall tower, drenched in rain, humming softly into the stormy atmosphere, her presence contrasting the urban landscape below. Dressed in an oversized orange hoodie, she reaches out, generating a swirl of vibrant energy, engulfing her as she connects with the electrifying atmosphere. Wearing a black hoodie and red headphones, she stands confidently in the rain, channeling energy as she reflects on her past, noting he was even less clever as a child. Wearing a black hoodie, she stands in the rain with her long hair blowing as she gazes at the city skyline, lost in thought. Wearing a black hoodie, she stands in the rain, her long hair flowing as she reflects on a kid she thinks is quite foolish. She stands in the rain lost in thought, her headphones resting around her neck, as a voice questions her, asking if she plans to see him. She stands in the rain, recalling how he saved her and offered a ride on his bike, while expressing frustration about her older sister's indifference. She stands in the rain, annoyed at his whining, recalling how he almost revealed his identity, and teasing him about treating her to beef noodles later. He expresses a craving for an extra egg and a good bowl of wine, urging for clarity about what is being asked. She laughs, confident, urging to erase all traces of her presence and avoid detection, especially from her sister's crew. She questions the other witness, warning about the girl with the sword, while confidently asserting that the girl won't betray Shen Yi. She reluctantly agrees, saying it's fine, as an ominous creature with fiery eyes looms over her, ready for whatever comes next. A figure stands atop a towering spire, facing an ominous creature with glowing eyes and electric tendrils, embodying a tense moment of confrontation. She confidently declares she's done, while anticipating delicious noodles, as eerie yellow eyes loom ominously behind her, adding to the tension. She anxiously texts about a party, frustratedly asking if they are grabbing noodles or hitting the party, revealing urgency and concern for her friend. He expresses his commitment to their promise, revealing his emotions as he stands in the rain, feeling touched yet questioning the decision to skip the party. She pulls her hood tightly, reflecting on how her sister excels in the spotlight while she struggles amidst the rain, revealing her insecurities. She leaps off the ledge, thinking it's ridiculous to be seen as useless, while mocking the idea that she is just a waste of space. Amidst a crimson atmosphere, two figures plummet towards a blood-filled bathtub, with unsettling sounds echoing around them, creating a chilling scene of horror. In a haunting red setting, a man screams, "Gah!" as blood splatters around him, creating a stark and terrifying atmosphere. In a chilling scene, he groans, questioning his reality as he rises from a pool of blood, grappling with the shock of being alive once more. In a haunting scene, he stands naked amidst a pool of blood, questioning if a divine power resurrected him, addressing an unseen lord. He stands amidst a blood-red background, astonished, reflecting on his situation while calling someone a fool. He sits in shock amidst swirling red tendrils, expressing gratitude to a powerful being for remaining by his side as a loyal servant. He questions a powerful entity about the last-moment withdrawal, expressing concern despite already having fulfilled his side of the agreement. He stood before the powerful entity, who, surrounded by an ominous red light, demanded, "Are you questioning me, mortal?" The tension in the air was palpable. He screamed in agony as the dark tendrils erupted around him, engulfing him in a horrifying red light, filled with pain and despair. He screamed in anguish, blood streaming down his face, as he pleaded, saying he would never dare to question anyone, only feeling confused. He grimaced, sensing an unfathomable presence hiding in the shadows, feeling it was not the right moment to reveal himself. He apologized, sensing a powerful being nearby, but the entity mocked his weakness, claiming his power was barely noticeable, like a dim ember. He felt weak and uninteresting, but the wicked ghost taunted him, claiming he underestimated his power and that the world he knew was full of surprises. He sat naked in a dim, blood-stained bathroom, contemplating a malevolent presence that warned him of other shadowy beings lurking nearby. He sat in the blood-soaked bathroom, panicking as he called for the great being, confused by a sudden noise and a mysterious figure at the door. She stood at the door, a mysterious aura surrounding her, questioning, "Is that you, Zhao Yibing?" as crimson light flickered ominously. He, clearly agitated, questioned the impossible situation while she, with an anxious expression, touched her hair in disbelief. With a serene expression and dark energy swirling around her, she confidently declared, "It's you." Great being. With awe, she expressed her gratitude for the impressive creation, addressing the eternal deity and affirming her devotion as a dedicated servant. She requested her servant to guide her through his world, eager to uncover the true secrets it held. He was visibly wounded and bloodied, determined to confront Shen Yi about something important. She wondered how he broke the curse of the wicked Ghost King, declaring that it was power she spent countless eons gathering and wanted back. The character, visibly exhausted and stripped, declared that after an immense journey to return, he now needed souls to regain his strength, hinting at the pain one's soul endures. She remarked that the flesh puppet was acting up, explaining she had used it as a vessel to bring him back to life. He warned that once the flesh puppet grew hungry, it would start torturing her soul, urging her to ensure it didn't starve or her soul would be ground to dust. She commanded him to go hunt, insisting he kill 1,000 souls. He, bloodied and grinning, eagerly accepted the task, exclaiming, "Wonderful, finally." With fiery determination, he proclaimed he could indulge to his heart's content amidst the pouring rain, leaning against a towering building. With fierce determination, he rode his motorcycle through the torrential rain, flames erupting beneath him as he embraced the thrill of the chase. He heard a strange noise while checking his surroundings. She casually replied that she took the hoverbike for a quick fly-by through the clouds, saying everything was fine. He smiled at the kid, reminding him that being loud at night isn't safe, while the kid apologized, promising it wouldn't happen again. He sighed in relief, sitting outside under the shelter as the rain poured heavily, feeling the cool atmosphere envelop him. He sat alone, reflecting on the chaos caused by his past self helping two girls as a child, feeling anger towards those who treated tragedy as mere games. He stared at his phone, shocked to see the Shen family calling, remembering that Shen Yi originally belonged to them. Shen Yi answered the call, surprised as he heard his first uncle's voice. He sat on the floor, phone in hand, processing the unexpected connection. Shen Yi listened intently as his first uncle spoke, recalling how he often received cold stares and mockery during visits, wondering why he was being called now. Shen Yi sat quietly, recalling his mother's visit for medicine. His uncle expressed relief at his recovery, hinting at an important matter to discuss. He expressed relief about the past, reminding the caller of their troublesome history, and stated plans for an apology to the noble families in a few days. He questioned whether an apology was necessary, recalling past offenses and emphasizing that a public apology would benefit the Shen family. He expressed that if he apologized, he'd be accepting full blame for everything, indicating the deaths of tens of thousands shouldn't be blamed on the wealthy. He mentioned that the Shen family would gain favor with certain families, hinting that this uncle might benefit from it as well, while holding a glass of wine. He lay on the ground, surrounded by chaos and blood, reflecting on how his death might unjustly entangle his family, including Xiao Mengyu. He smirked, questioning the meaning behind, "for my own good," while on the phone, recalling he hadn't offended anyone and wondered who had and when it happened. He dismissed the details, feeling cornered by the unknown, while recalling that the Shen family wouldn't hesitate to betray him for their benefit. He questioned whether it was about his mother needing medicine, commenting on greed. He insisted it was a question bothering him that hindered obedience. He typed on his phone, asking, "May I ask, who the hell do you think you are?" His serious expression hinted at frustration. He typed on his phone, warning Shen Yi not to push his luck, expressing skepticism about his confidence while questioning if he would grovel before others. He called Shen Yi a little brat, questioning if he thought he could defy his grandfather's decisions. The phone beeped as he noticed Shen Yi had hung up. Shen Yi received an unexpected video call from an unknown number, expressing his surprise and confusion over the situation. The Yan sisters from Phoenix Island excitedly invite Shen Yi to their midnight bikini party, catching him off guard as he stares at his phone, blushing. The Yan sisters tease Shen Yi, complimenting his looks and excitedly stating they have many friends eager to meet him at the party while enjoying the pool. He smiles shyly while explaining that going out now isn't a great idea since it's very late and he feels reluctant to leave. She nonchalantly suggests it's no problem to call for a ride, asking him to do her a favor, while relaxing by the pool with friends. He expresses concern about going out at night, implying they need to be cautious. Meanwhile, a friend on the phone emphasizes the value of this opportunity. He stands by the window, rain pouring outside, expressing his fear of ladies taking advantage of him and decides to hit the hay soon. He stands by the window, contemplating that wealthy families are aware of the situation, and realizes people are curious about the heir of the most powerful family wanting to marry. He lies on the bed, frustrated by being summoned like a sideshow freak, pondering who would dare give him such orders if he truly were a calamity. A reminder states that only 10 minutes remain until midnight. Entering the door on this new day brings the chance to receive a title. He realizes he has a chance to obtain a special hidden ability, questioning the significance of this opportunity while reflecting on the conditions to achieve it. He reflects on the harsh reality, realizing that there's no time for peace. Power is all that matters, whether it's fighting his family's schemes or seeking justice. He declared his desire for the strength to overcome any obstacle in his way, his intense gaze reflecting determination as he clenched his fist. He recognized the urgency of the moment, thinking he must seize this opportunity to uncover his hidden ability as the clock ticked towards midnight. He stood before the ominous door, sensing its dark energy swirling around him, as the word, door, echoed in his mind, urging him to act. He walked through the dense, fog-laden forest, the atmosphere heavy with mystery, as leaves whispered secrets beneath his feet. He stood in a dark forest, shocked as an enormous, glowing skeleton emerged, wisps of blue energy swirling around it, capturing the eerie atmosphere. He gazed in confusion at the towering skeleton, which was adorned with swirling blue energy, as he questioned what had happened. He realized the time had arrived for them to separate as he gazed at the glowing skeleton, its eyes flickering with eerie light. He looked concerned, stating she could move around freely now, while shadows loomed around them in a dark, eerie atmosphere. He stated he needed to return to the undead clan to finish unfinished business, while the giant skeleton loomed menacingly in the dark forest. He gratefully acknowledged the help he received in regaining his strength, offering a ring as a keepsake, while the other hero expressed a wish for a farewell gift. He declared that further assistance was unnecessary, having already aided in restoring his power, while the other hero simply said, farewell. He reflected on having a companion for just a few days before the other returned to the wild, wondering about the other's survival. He stood amidst the twisted trees, glancing upwards as a flock of bats flew overhead, darkening the gloomy atmosphere, pondering the unknown mystery around him. He walked down a narrow path surrounded by twisted trees, electricity crackling in the vibrant purple sky, hinting at the disturbance of tranquility. He lay on the ground, surprised and confused, as purple energy crackled around him, evoking a sense of danger and urgency. He lay on the ground, shocked and confused, as purple energy crackled around him, realizing that's Big Skelly's voice. He ran forward, frustrated and bewildered, thinking that someone barely arriving would face an enemy this soon, questioning whether Big Skelly's power truly fell short. He hurried through the woods, feeling overwhelmed by the destructive force he had witnessed and contemplating whether avoiding the fight was wiser than confronting it. He felt a rush of panic as he realized he had been spotted, knowing that retreating would harm his title evaluation and hinder his chances to earn the title, one of us, for a third time. Feeling hesitant and nervous, he stated that when a friend is in trouble, one must lend a hand, especially since he also aimed for the one of us title. Feeling anxious, he stood alone in a dark forest, surrounded by sharp spikes emerging from the ground, sensing danger looming all around. Startled, he found himself trapped by sharp spikes, sensing imminent danger as dust and debris kicked up around him. He marveled at the haunting atmosphere, noting the ominous voice expressing satisfaction with the unusual gathering, while a shocked figure recognized someone named Fern. He was shocked and worried, questioning what happened to his bro Fern. Another character coolly pointed out that humans usually don't refer to undead as my bro. He expressed frustration over a past mission failure where undead were killed because of him. Now, others sought revenge with a vow to settle the score. He resolved to strategize, expressing gratitude to Fern, his brother, for saving him, and declaring their intention to overthrow the corrupt human empire. He questioned them harshly, mocking their ambition to overthrow the human empire, implying they were foolish for even considering it. He urgently called for attention, revealing his proof as he stood close to infiltrating the human high command, surrounded by imposing skeletal remains. He smirked, contemplating the deceptive trick before him while holding a glowing shard, shrouded in eerie shadows. He received a glowing medal of valor, awarded to the last survivor of the Rhine territory, ready to gain the power of a holy sign. He received the prestigious award for surviving, presented by Prince Norden, a candidate for the next heir to the Holy Amethyst Empire. He was astonished to receive a medal from Prince Norden himself, while another character remarked in disbelief about the human's honesty. A shadowy figure demanded where the kid obtained the object, its presence crackling with energy amidst shattered ice. A sinister figure known as Baleful Star emerged, its wild hair and menacing grin radiating dark energy, casting an eerie presence in the surrounding atmosphere. Realizing the truth, he exclaimed that having a title grants power, while planning with Fern to sneak into the imperial capital and assassinate the emperor. Angered, he called the figure a fool, doubting the authenticity of a medal while planning to sneak in and assassinate the emperor alongside Fern. Frustrated, he expressed that despite skills, titles held no real value. He pointed out their planned entry into the upper echelon of society, questioning belief in lies. He mocked those who would believe an idiot could truly confess, noting a letter supposedly from the Imperial Military Academy, emphasizing its authenticity. He shouted in disbelief, demanding to know who the mysterious figure was and insisted they explain why they were after his friend Fern. He declared that there was nothing to hide, suggesting that the truth should be revealed. He recounted how during the assassination mission, the chieftain and others were caught, while one person fled, warranting harsh punishment. He laughed loudly, showing his teeth, as if reveling in some dark amusement, surrounded by a shadowy forest that emphasized his mischievous demeanor. He grimaced in agony, his mouth open as if trying to scream, while a shadowy hand gripped his face tightly, adding to the tense atmosphere. He struggled, held by a menacing figure, as the shadowy creature mocked him, laughing at the situation. Confusion filled him as he questioned what was so funny. He confronted the figure, demanding proof while gripping a skull in his hand, questioning the absence of the village's female chieftain and the High Elven priest's authority. He challenged the group, taunting their abilities, insisting they investigate on their own, while revealing that everyone knew he had been to the village of the High Elven priest. He smirked, asserting his fame over the Elven village, while a sinister figure questioned him about his notoriety, surprised by his connection to the prince. He wondered if the rumors were true, questioning whether Fern had truly been the first to sense the danger and retreat. He commanded the soldier to investigate while threatening a kid, warning that lies would lead to a fate worse than death. He challenged the soldier, urging him to seek the truth while hinting at the betrayal of his own kind, commenting on his surprising bravery. He expressed his frustration, stating he was fed up with being exploited by the capitalists, his fierce expression reflecting his resolve. With a confused look, he frowned and asked, "Capitalists? What's that?" His eerie expression added to the unsettling atmosphere. With a determined look, he explained his struggle, asserting he lacked tools and had to sell his labor to the capitalists, hoping to survive. With a sinister grin, the cloaked figure turned, its chilling gaze piercing through the darkness, while a skeletal figure lingered uncertainly in the background. With a wicked smirk, the cloaked figure pointed out the challenge of understanding others, while its skeletal companions awkwardly admired its leadership skills. With a sinister grin, he asked how the capitalists tortured them to instill such deep hatred. With intense fury, he shouted about how they had wronged him, revealing his deep anger and the desire for justice. A towering figure, marked with a menacing grin and one glowing eye, exclaims about humanity, while a small skeletal figure curiously asks what 996 means. A serious young man reflects on a grueling work schedule, from 9 in the morning to 9 at night. He notes it's over 10 hours daily for 6 days a week. A menacing face with a sinister purple hue reflects on the tough work schedule, noting that it's quite harsh. He recalled his intense experience, mentioning a significant moment where he went through 007, his expression revealing deep focus and determination. He anxiously recalled the overwhelming workload, working from midnight to midnight, 7 days a week, with no breaks, as his companions silently watched with concern. The character hesitantly embraced the towering figure, who darkly offered a hug, while the atmosphere shimmered with a magical glow, evoking an unexpected sense of comfort. One character, with a sinister smile, expressed understanding, asking how the other survived in such brutality, while the other reflected on a pivotal moment from their past. He trudged through the heavy snow, shivering and hungry, clutching a basket with a single box of matches, overwhelmed by the harsh winter. The undead proclaimed they would unveil humanity's wrongdoings, specifically the 996 and 007 incidents, while the character would become the focal point in this battle for public opinion. A young boy, surprised, holds a flickering match while snow falls around him, as a message announces his new title. The little match boy is about to emerge. Frustrated, the boy in armor protests, feeling trapped by the title, the little match boy, after already being called the boy who lived, insisting, no way. Absolutely not. The boy reflects on how, just as he was freezing to death, Fern saved him, firmly declaring he won't allow anyone to frame Fern. In the eerie forest, a character asserts that they've verified the information, confirming someone is truthful, while a menacing figure looms nearby. Two characters, one with a skull nearby, discuss the elven high priest's betrayal and celebrate Farron's innocence, admiring the human youth's remarkable achievement. A sinister figure reflects on the higher-ups' ordered execution of Fern, understanding that he himself can't be killed, fearing retaliation from his own soldiers. A dark figure in a forest reflects on the undead higher-ups taking credit for everything, knowing saving Fern would cost a fortune he refuses to pay. A dark figure in the forest acknowledges Fern's bravery as a valiant undead warrior, awarding him an honor he truly deserves with a glowing medal. The dark figure warns the boy that he will now be known as the Little Match Boy, a title that will reveal his past, as the boy struggles to evade fate. The dark figure, smirking with confidence, reveals his pride for the boy, emphasizing that he is truly proud of them both. With urgency, the leader insists on reporting the matter immediately, while the boy, shocked, questions why they would leave someone beaten like that. Frustrated, the boy exclaims that they disappeared suddenly, mentioning that those who revive after being hurt are often left to fend for themselves. The boy reassures himself about his strength, while a talking skull complains about being discarded, revealing a humorous tension in their unusual partnership. The boy expresses gratitude while inquiring about the frightening concept of capitalists, and his companion reassures him that such things are not present in his world. He expressed disbelief about understanding the world, mentioning that all races learn from humans, warning that undead would soon emerge, which he found terrifying. He was startled by a key reminder stating he had been spotted again, while another voice warned him not to run as they closed in. He felt a chill as he was accused of treachery, caught with the undead, while armored knights approached menacingly, leaving him to gasp in fear. He gasped in shock, recognizing the figure before him, while armored knights loomed ominously in the shadowy forest. He looked alarmed as Prince Norden, flanked by knights, declared, the boy who lived, recognizing the weight of the moment. He demanded answers with a fierce expression, warning that any deception would be revealed immediately, threatening that he would take matters into his own hands. He introduced his informant, Fern, explaining that he had been negotiating with the undead, raising questions about how a human could form such a contract. He assured his companion that the informant was truthful, while explaining he was monitoring every aspect with ongoing arcane magic. He thought about the defective undead and remarked that he never expected the legendary boy who lived to possess such clever tricks, amazed by the rumors. He asked if she had intel on the undead, and he confidently replied that he had already given it to the Shadowhand Brotherhood. He expressed his belief in Her Highness's judgment, stating he specializes in soul magic and can sense souls affected by corruption, reassuring that her target is pure and not an undead puppet. He questioned why an undead would form a transactional relationship with her, stating it was treated unfairly on the undead side, revealing the individual has a tough time. He exclaimed about suffering from a mysterious entity termed 996, while a skull with eerie eyes loomed nearby, drawing attention. He asked about the mysterious entity known as 996, his expression serious, while two armored knights stood menacingly in the background. He revealed his exhaustion from unfair treatment, claiming humans are unaware of the undead capitalists among them, while a shocked onlooker questioned this new kind. He explained his struggles as a poor worker in the underworld, lacking tools and being exploited by the wealthy capitalists who own the means of production. He reflected on how undead workers never tire or require food, making them perfect targets for exploitation, ensuring the capitalists save significantly on labor costs. He asked with a serious expression, curious about what 996 meant, as the eerie forest loomed behind him. The skull lay in the dim light, as he reflected on the harsh reality of working 9 to 9 with little rest, every single week. With a worried expression and a single tear, she reflects on his tough situation, acknowledging, that's really difficult. With a haunting expression, the skull recounts an intense experience, mentioning how he went through an ordeal labeled 007. One character, looking alarmed, contemplates the intense work schedule known as 007, while another expresses shock, saying, heavens, in a forested setting. One character, wearing a regal cape, offers a hug to a large skull with a warm smile, while the skull responds with a grateful, thanks. He expresses understanding, asking how she survived in such a harsh environment all this time. He recalls that day with a heavy heart, the skull ominously staring back as emotions surge within. Snow fell softly as he recalled escaping, seeing the skeleton and remembering the boy who lived. He was freezing and starving, clutching a box of matches. He yelled in panic as a giant skull approached, frantically waving his hands, insisting, no, while trying to distance himself from the frightening threat. He struck a match and lit a small fire to warm himself, recalling the first time he felt human kindness and warmth, all thanks to the skeleton. He raised a skeletal hand triumphantly, declaring his intention to rebel, with the sun rising behind him, symbolizing a new beginning. He expressed disbelief and frustration, reacting to the announcement of his new title, the Little Matchboy, while questioning the quality of titles in the system. He questioned the undead friend about proving his identity, while the undead skullbone medal floated nearby, amplifying the eerie atmosphere. An elderly man examined a medal awarded to Fern, the field collection officer of the Skeleton Army's 5th Brigade, gifted by Terrence, war general of the undead. In a tense moment, the bald man explained that only the one who received the medal can ignite soulfire, urging the royal figure to believe the truth. An astonished character reflected on the unprecedented event of an undead betraying its kind to serve a human, realizing the significance of witnessing history unfold. The prince of the Holy Amethyst Empire tells the boy, who suffered a grave injury in battle, that he must give him a new name. A prince declares, a naming is a huge honor, as knights discuss the importance of a name, offering food and shelter for life in human lands. As the prince declares, your name shall be Har, the boy pleads desperately, anything but that. This is my most sincere request. As the prince suggests a name, he notes that Loli sounds like one but means something else entirely, while the boy thinks Harry would have been better. She doubts he likes the other choice. Legends mention 2 divine children named Loli and Peppa, appearing in times of calamity to gather devoted followers. He smiled brightly, suggesting they choose Peppa instead of Loli, since she wasn't interested in the latter. The armored knights stood in unison, their swords gleaming with a golden aura as they prepared for battle, ready to defend their honor. He commanded Peppa to swear that she would never betray humanity, warning her that breaking the oath would shatter her soul instantly, surrounded by a fiery aura of swords. He stated that taking the vow would make her a hero, earning respect and possibly becoming a saint, humorously noting being a saint in training wasn't a bad deal. Peppa declared his oath, vowing unwavering loyalty to humanity, fueled by determination and a fierce spirit. Peppa stood fiercely before the army, radiating power and determination, while warriors brandished their swords, ready to follow him into battle. Surrounded by swirling flames, the young warrior focused intently, channeling his energy as vibrant sparks danced around him. The elderly man congratulated the excited boy, telling him the ceremony was complete and he would no longer be called Peppa, leading the boy to eagerly ask for his new name. The man with long hair smiled as he proclaimed the boy's new title, Saint Peppa, while the elderly man and a woman stood proudly behind him. He looked shocked and confused, exclaiming, Saint Peppa, as sweat dripped down his face, clearly struggling to comprehend the title. He advised his partner to be more cautious and to report any developments, assuring them that he'd reward significant achievements. He offered his companion a letter with a spark of excitement, saying to take it, while the other looked surprised and curious. He explained that the enchanted letter paper would sync with the matching sheet in his hand, emphasizing its importance for royal intelligence. He declared his commitment to serve humanity until death, while the other character laughed, suggesting they could gain valuable information from the undead. As they prepared to leave, he bid farewell with a friendly smile, ensuring the other character would be fine. As they conversed in the forest, she intriguingly revealed, Saint Peppa holds a secret, prompting his curious response, what secret? In the legends, the divine son Peppa wielded an ever-changing weapon, turning swords, spears, bows, and even strange weapons unknown to humankind. In a mystical forest, a character teased about the name Peppa coming from wielding strange weapons, while encouraging another to train diligently in weapon mastery. In the mystical forest, the elf pondered about the number of people named Peppa, revealing she knew 5, including Old Peppa, Little Peppa, Red Peppa, Big Peppa, and Fat Peppa. In the enchanted forest, the prince complimented the elf, highlighting her uniqueness as the most special Peppa, making her feel supported despite her common name. In the misty forest, the elf touched a knight's shield, while another knight waved from behind a large skull. In the foggy woods, the knight reminded Peppa they should leave. The mysterious skull seemed to listen, hinting at secrets within the mist. Shen Yi, annoyed, instructed not to call him by his old name, while a companion asked why he was so angry, as he approached a mysterious door surrounded by swirling red energy. Shen Yi confronted Peppa with determination, declaring her to be eliminated and stating that the calcium supplements were cancelled as he energized a mysterious door surrounded by glowing blue energy. Shen Yi stepped through the glowing door, a sense of urgency propelling him forward as vibrant energy swirled around him, ready for the challenge ahead. Shen Yi stood at the doorway, a determined look on his face, as mysterious energy swirled around him, indicating the challenges that lay ahead. Shen Yi gazed at the eerie skull silhouette outside the window, feeling a mix of curiosity and fear as the atmosphere thickened with unease. Shen Yi stood startled, questioning the strange skull that emerged from the shadows, feeling an unsettling mixture of confusion and apprehension as night fell around him. Shen Yi stared in disbelief, puzzled by the unexpected message congratulating him for successfully accomplishing something significant. Having survived relentless attacks from both the undead and humans, Shen Yi finds solace as he is awarded the title, the Little Matchboy. The Prince of the Human Empire granted him the name, Saint Peppa, and celebrated with a sacred ceremony, while a wise elder and a woman looked on, both proud. He received the title, One of Us, for the third time after using wisdom to turn enemies into allies, bridging trust between major races. He stood before a glowing door, realizing he was the first ordinary person to earn the title 3 times, breaking the rules. Suddenly, a voice congratulated him on his hidden ability. He activated the ability called temporal stagnation, allowing him to freeze time on one side for 3 seconds while remaining unaffected. After using his ability called temporal stagnation, he reflects on its limitations, noting he can only freeze time for 3 seconds once a week. As time resumes, the character stands before a mysterious portal, reflecting on the trial version of his ability, realizing its constraints. After the rapid event, he appears puzzled, commenting that it was too quick, while inquiring about Big Skelly's experience. He casually states he was only playing around, as a dark force swirls around, revealing that he has devoured the title, One of Us, gaining 3 stat points, bringing his total to 10. He exclaims that it's already 6 a.m., declaring he's too sleepy and plans to work hard again tomorrow as he settles back under the blankets. He gasps in surprise, a bead of sweat on his forehead, shouting, "Who is it?" as he hears a sound coming from the dark hallway. Qian Rushan calls out urgently, urging him to get up as they prepare to leave for the exam site on the airship, leaving him surprised. The sky is bright and clear as the airship glides gracefully among fluffy clouds, preparing for its journey to the exam site. As he tosses restlessly on the couch, he mutters his desire for some sleep first, while the faint sound of snoring echoes in the room. Shen Yi receives a message, excitedly revealing her spot in the entrance exams for the prestigious Big 3 high schools, inviting him to meet up. He stares at his phone in disbelief, shocked to see Zhao Yibing's name and questioning how she managed to qualify for the exams. He pauses, noticing something unusual about her. Could it be her hair's new purple color that feels so different? Mr. Qian, absorbed in a book, learns from a classmate about another girl qualifying for the Big 3 high school entrance exams and responds, skeptical, mentioning Zhao Yibing. A man with glasses smirks while smoking, revealing news about a girl's hidden talent and the Archaeology Association's secrecy surrounding her. The narration reveals that the Archaeology Association is a crucial organization tasked with uncovering humanity's past, exploring ruins, and wielding significant power. Zhao Yibing seems unlikely to have many connections, so the character recalls that Xiao Menji has been investigating his background, prompting her to consider asking Xiao for more information. With a resolute determination, he decided to call Xiao Menji, thinking to himself that if she remained upset, he would offer a proper apology. With a hint of nervousness, he spoke into the phone, addressing Shen Yi, and awkwardly inquired if she knew Zhao Yibing. With a hint of urgency, he replied over the phone, confirming he knew her but sadly added that she was dead, explaining the late arrival that night. With disbelief, he learned of the unexpected news that she was dead, despite her recent message about qualifying for the exams and wanting to meet. He spoke on the phone, expressing his plan to take the entrance exams too. He promised to talk later, stating he would arrive soon. He conveyed their journey would take 10 hours, while another character attentively listened, ready to follow instructions carefully. He cautioned not to meet Zhao Yibing alone, emphasizing her extreme danger. The other character acknowledged this with understanding. A character, dressed in black, holds a book and prepares to leave as he tells Xiao Mengyu he will meet her at the exam site. As he reads, the character, wearing sunglasses and a black coat, reflects on last night's incident, detailing the surge of sword chi linked to Xiao Mengyu. He learns that the AI confirmed her breakthrough in sword skills, noting her successful use of the Holy Guardian blessing to perform 49 sword forms across the river. He wonders how she already knows sword techniques, noting they attend the same junior high where only basic training is offered, while she hails from a noble family with a long sword-style legacy. He reflects that ordinary people miss proper sword training until high school, while noble family members begin young, giving them an unfair advantage right from the start. He reflects that kids from noble families begin training their resonance early, while others face an uphill battle in high school, facing secret techniques and artifacts. He laments that the difference is overwhelming, expressing concern about taking exams with exceptionally skilled peers, while a friend reassures him about his noble heritage. He reassures his friend that despite never receiving help from his family, the human martial arts group stands by him, emphasizing their support as a true family. He expresses gratitude and shares that an old member is just scared while mentioning Xiao Mengyu's new breakthrough in her water walking and movement techniques, calling her a rising star. He plans to rest, asking to be awakened later. He looks annoyed and slightly irritated, clearly trying to hold back his feelings as he listens to the ongoing noise, wondering about the commotion. Shen Yi plans to leave for entrance exams and thinks about Zhao Yibing, expressing frustration over constant messages and a girl who won't let go. Shen Yi sits comfortably on the grass, waves goodbye, and informs his friend that he's still relaxing in Zhongbei, planning to leave tomorrow or later. A girl stands alone in the grass, looking thoughtful as she texts about being in Zhongbei too, wondering which part he is in. He looks shocked, realizing a troubling coincidence, as he exclaims in disbelief that there's no way it's just a coincidence. He realizes he has bad timing, as he informs his companion that his friend has picked him up and they are heading to Nanshan Temple. She smiles while discussing plans to visit Nanshan Temple for incense and suggests grabbing dinner later. He stares at the network of connections, shocked that Nanshan Temple is about 60 miles from Zhongbei, wondering how she's able to respond so quickly. He looks deeply troubled, his eyes reflecting a mix of confusion and despair, lost in thought as silence fills the air. He lies on the couch, exhausted and casual, muttering about needing sleep before worrying, while the surrounding atmosphere feels heavy and relaxed. He thinks it's not like she can reach him right now, while a blimp floats in the cloudy sky above a distant, grand structure. He threatens her, questioning if she really believes she can escape as he looms over her, tension palpable in the dimly lit room. She declares her intent to reclaim what belongs to her, while he, with a fierce expression and bloodied appearance, stands ready in the shadowy scene. With determination in her voice, she vows to succeed regardless of the challenges ahead, while the dark surroundings heighten the tension. With excitement in his eyes, he joyfully runs through the snow, igniting small fireworks, while his friend watches with a mix of awe and admiration. As snow swirls around, he flees in fear from the menacing wolf looming ahead, while his friends brace themselves for the impending danger. In a tense atmosphere, he warns that the kids have numerous bite marks, while she expresses concern about the missing individuals, as an ominous beep echoes. In the dim light, she thanks Shen Yi for his help, while he shares that baking a cake was fun, revealing a light-hearted moment between them. In the snowy night, he waves goodbye as a car drives away, surrounded by dark buildings and falling snowflakes. Shen Yi stirs as someone calls his name, feeling drowsy. The figure insists he should wake up and offers to take him out to eat. Shen Yi ponders thoughtfully, wondering how others have changed over time, while his striking blue eyes reflect curiosity. He exclaims in amazement at the lavish feast spread before him, while someone seated across casually remarks that it's the most advanced, luxurious airship available. He expresses his excitement about the delicious food, while another character warns him to act more dignified instead of looking disheveled. Not long after, he feels so full he can't eat another bite, looking disheveled and content after devouring the delicious meal. He asks curiously, wondering if they're finished with the skewers, while another boy looks on with a surprised expression. One boy, focused on his skewers, tells the other to enjoy his meal, while the second boy looks on, appreciative. One boy expresses concern about the group's neglect toward a starving kid, while another man, dressed in formal attire, defends their mission and mentions the diverse backgrounds of the group. A boy raises his hand confidently, introducing himself as a member of the Eternity Tech Consortium. A surprised boy greets his leader, asking Guo Yenyu what he is doing, while another figure looks on, concerned. A tall, intimidating figure greets Qian Rushan with a smirk, while a group of younger monks looks on curiously, one mentioning Yu Sahai. A sharply dressed man remarks on the impressive speed of the other character's recruitment, questioning how he managed to gather 7 people so quickly. In a tense moment, 2 characters lock eyes, one with sharp features pondering something, while the other, wearing glasses, appears determined. A bright light glows nearby. A monk reminds the kids to play along while a young man, puzzled, looks at the plates in front of him, unsure of the discussion ahead. Excited, One boy enthusiastically invites another to check out a cool spot on the airship, walking confidently ahead. Guo Yunya asks Shen Yi for his name while suggesting a fun outing, but Shen Yi insists that this space is perfect for relaxing and stretching. He smiles mischievously while holding up a card, explaining to Shen Yi that he was actually doing something else when he requested food earlier. He learns he must complete a mission to obtain a unique card by freely acquiring and consuming food from 7 other candidates, with his progress at 3 out of 7. He wonders about the mysterious device, while another guy teases him about his parents' lack of experience, offering to help by asking for his hand. A hand extends to accept a shimmering card surrounded by glowing energy, connecting 2 characters in a moment of magical exchange. One character admires the other's skills, claiming it's no trick. He explains that it's the top 3 high school rookies deck from the Tarot Tower, feeling grateful for their help with his missions. To become a card in the rookie deck, one must complete missions, including getting 6 candidates for an activity and 12 for another. He was surprised, asking why he had a mission now. The other character explained that by completing missions, he could become a candidate card in the rookie deck, which was the focus of his work. He questioned the purpose of joining the deck, while the other boy pointed out his ignorance, expressing surprise that he even bothered to attend the exam. The Tarot Tower runs the exam, and the deck serves as their official support system. Exclusive exam information is accessible through the deck. The deck issues random missions, enhancing ranks. He learns that achieving a high enough rating unlocks significant perks. He realizes that not only do exams earn bonus points, but they also offer visibility to major organizations, leading to sponsorships and fame. He eagerly examines the Tarot Tower, thinking about how to successfully tackle the mission and prove himself as a rookie. He thought about how to get at least 6 candidates to willingly join his activity without directly asking any of them. He contemplated how to get at least 6 candidates to willingly join his activity without directly asking them, gazing upward at the mysterious light in the dim room. He pointed upward, asking his friend if he noticed the air vent, while his friend, looking surprised, simply replied in agreement. He found it boring and suggested a challenge to touch the air vent, while she, skeptical, teased him about the outcome with a playful dare.